say that, look, there is no justification for how dark this city is at night. And we will keep saying it until something's like, I feel like, Sky, yesterday I drove from East Airport, Lister, what's the name of this place? Lister Roundabout.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Going towards Chain Homes. And then you go to Chado. East Airport is, and Airport Hills is probably the most expensive real estate in Ghana, apart from maybe Transaco Valley. All that place, Sky, if it's a very expensive place. Not one street light was working. From Lister and about.
Horrifying.
And I asked myself, this country, we have a mental problem.
The median
That-
overgrown with weed.
The average cost of a house in that place is, I think, $1 million. Grass had overgrown in the median, and all the street lights were off. Everybody living in that place probably pays not if the house belongs to you, then it's probably $1 million, whatever. If you don't own that house, you probably pay thousands of dollars for rent.
Yep.
And yet the assembly, I don't know whether they are the assembly, whatever, cannot provide street lights even on that road.
Yeah.
The whole of Accra is drive from 37 at night, and you are coming to what's the name? Perez Dome. There's no everything.
There's no
dark.
street light.
So go to the place is called Dimples, and you are driving to Achimota Forest. You are going to like Achimota Police Station. And I ask myself, how can a country just decide that we will endanger citizens in this way? How? So are you telling me that in countries with street light they don't have thieves there? That the excuse is that people will steal it. So in the whole of the world, our thieves are so foolish that the street lights they steal. I mean, we are getting used to it. You drive on the George Walker Bush Highway at night,
And somebody just emerges.
Look,
Sky.
it is almost it's a guessing game.
It
You are
is
just
for me-
hoping that
It is
nothing catches you off
a
guard.
mixture of incompetence and wickedness and indolence.
Everything.
How do you have streets with no lights, streets with no marking? So please stay home. If you live in those Bawicious Kaswa areas, just hit tea leaf. Hit tea leaf, raise the radio and relax. Because you are going to get stuck in traffic. Call your boss and say, Charlie, the way things make the city people say make you day house. Make you day house. Then when you knock like 8, 9, 30, 10,
And you see the weather.
you look the weather small. Then because some people when they enter that rain, the transport money is pepper. So if you go and lock somewhere, Charlie chop what? If the driver decides to load you from Kaswa and leave you at SCC,
Finish.
Charlie also got it because sometimes when we go to church and they are doing second offering, me I don't really understand because some people they've calculated the offering. So Charlie, let's I'm just saying that look, urban planning, urban management, urban renewal. I think beyond economy, the most important thing I want to hear in this election, somebody who understands managing our spaces.
No.
Let people apply for the work. It's not by force to be DC. If you can't do it, go and do something else, please. So that when it rains, people can still go to work. Our streets will be well lit. Our gutters will be cleared. We will have a clean society. Start with the headlines. I'm talking too much.
The Ghanaian Times says this morning, let's safeguard our democracy. Majority Leader Alex Apenyo Marking urges citizenry and presents some 20 laptops to the New Times Corporation. Also on the front page this morning, Asante Hene supports Gamanche Education Fund. The story makes the front page now for the Ghanaian Times. Unapproved advertisement, FDA slaps 39 media houses with 975,000 Ghana cedis in fine. And then Dr. Baumia needs time to name running mate. Usu Ejiman is advising NPP.
I thought he was announcing it this week.
Well, Usu Ejiman is thinking that you give him time. So.
The Daily Graphic, purge toxic political space. Apenyo Marking urges media. NHIA settles 300 million cedi claims. And government secures pact to suspend bilateral loan payment until 2026. And on the back page of the Daily Graphic, Ghana EU Commission road projects in Upper West region and modern biomedical waste incinerator installed for Noguchi.
The New Finder says this morning, 5 SNIT hotels cash trapped, and they never paid dividends despite some 233.8 million Ghana cedis in investment. Also on the front page, we're told Ghana and Official Creditor Committee agree debt relief terms. Inflation, as you were saying yesterday, the figures have been released and we are told inflation has dropped to 23.1% in May.
That's year-on-year inflation. Monthly inflation has increased the highest in 10 months.
Oh, okay.
Just steady.
Okay, I see.
Because the thing we were discussing yesterday about food price increase. Inflation, there are two types.
Year-on-year.
The one that has come down is because of what is called base effect.
Okay.
So the inflation actually is going up.
Oh, I see.
Don't be deceived.
So find out.
No, everybody, the headline is correct.
I understand, but
I'm just putting it's a fine point.
I understand, yeah.
Explain it. The way it's calculated. Don't start rejoicing.
Yeah, you use the other one, not this one. IEM retrace call for independent fiscal council.
The Daily Guide says NDC kicks against free SHS bill. Gamanche leads Clean Accra campaign. The Otumfo says you are respectful and humble and is telling Baumia this. And show business model, DPP dares NAM1.
The Chronicle, Alan Cash vows to transform the North with heavy investments in agriculture. Also on the front page this morning, Baumia to Otumfo, my government will focus on solar and railways. And then why SNIT wants to sell La Palm and Labadi hotels.
Okay, if you go to the Anchor newspaper, minority not against free SHS bill. That's coming in from Dr. Clement Apak. CSO threatened demo over locked up drugs at port, but ministry insists only mosquito nets are in containers. Central Region NDC spits venom, says it won't be intimidated ahead of December poll. And over 30 SHS students hospitalized after eating wachi.
This story was on Citi yesterday. Yeah. Quite serious.
Yes. Then the Anchor's biggest story: unfair dismissal, victimization hit BCM.
Let me take you to the New Independent newspaper. Cocoa Board seeks support. Farmers save over 300,000 hectares of cocoa farms. Also admit your shortfalls and offer pragmatic solutions. So Asante Hene is telling Baumia that, hey, say that, Charlie, you got it wrong here and there, and then provide a way forward. Minority issues 24-hour ultimatum to government over medical commodities at Temaport. This matter keeps coming back, and I don't understand.
Maybe also, do you know what they should do? They should take all of us to the container. They should open it live on TV so we all see what is inside. Because this idea that somebody says mosquito net, somebody says it's medicine.
But does it even matter?
Yeah, because
we need to take it out and use it.
Yeah, but you see, because if you don't know what is inside too, that means we are all just talking around the issue.
So
then people should open the thing. Let's take our camera inside and then we all tell the world what is there.
Oh, Charlie, we are just...
Everything is politics now.
Charlie. Daybreak newspaper, political power has not changed you, says Otumfo to Baumia. Okay. NAM1 to either walk free or open defense on July 10. And Cocoa Board saves 300,000 hectares in cocoa farms.
And the business analyst says this morning, 2022-2023 fiscal year, Cocoa Board made 2 billion Ghana cedis in profit. That's according to the CEO. Also, we use loans to save the industry. Cocoa Board CEO to critics. And some other stories here on the front page, including one that says Ghana loses 1.4 billion Ghana cedis annually from illicit dollars, okay, from illicit financial flows.
All right.
And finally, from me, the BNFT debt relief deal paves way for critical infrastructure investment. That is on page 3. On the inflation, on the economy, inflation eases to 23.1% in May amid lingering risks, and they have graphs stating the year-on-year and month-on-month overall inflation between May last year and May this year. And finally, mineral revenue grows 4.3% in 2020.
Let me give you a few headlines online. Facebook, YouTube, online trading companies must be taxed. This is Deputy Minister of Finance. He also said no new taxes will be put in the mid-year budget. Meanwhile, NIA workers suspend strike ahead of crucial negotiations. The CEO is also saying they will adequately address their concerns. Amenfi East MPP parliamentary candidate granted bail. You know he was arrested.
Yes.
And then restoring Ghana's economy requires bold fiscal adjustments. This is the IEA speaking. And as we read, over 30 students hospitalized over suspected food poisoning at Ejumako Afransi Technical Institute after eating wachi. It's a very serious matter. My journal online, we can't be complacent in dealing with an MPP that is obsessed with power. Afifi Kwete. He also says, Baumia and MPP copying our campaign strategy with People's Manifesto. In other stories, no student will be left out of the one student, one tablet initiative, Baumia. And then Nigeria's president says economic reforms will continue despite economic hardships. Then Baumia says, I have passed as vice president, promote me Sometimes when I see the videos of like I don't know whether they are deliberate memes or that's actually what he said. Like, there's one that shows him like they were playing some Stia song.
I know that. Guru song. La Paz Toyota.
And then he was dancing and he says, Mamufa Stia no mami. So I think it's handless to check some of those things because sometimes it appears some way.
I don't even know, Charlie.
The dance steps are some way. But I think the message is clear. Give me the Stia. It's like the Calipo thing. Sometimes you can think something is you are teasing somebody, but it becomes viral. So I don't know.
Charlie.
But the Stia thing is not so. You don't like it.
You need much more serious
than the Stia.
Prosecuting the campaign.
Now, all SHS students will get the tablet. This is another story coming in. And globally, Buenos Aires rocked by clashes over Milei reforms, and then a few other stories there. So let's get into the stories with Nathan. Give me the inflation analysis.
Yes. This is on page 2 of the BNFT, and it says Ghana's headline inflation continued its disinflationary path in May, easing to 23.1% from 25% in April, according to the Ghana Statistical Service. The 1.9 percentage point decline aligned with market expectations, though risks remain that could undermine further progress. The disaggregated data revealed food inflation was the driving force behind the overall easing, dropping to 22.6% from 26.8%, the lowest rate in 13 months. Conversely, non-food inflation ticked up slightly to 23.6% from 23.5% in
I'm trying to explain this thing to you that the drop of inflation is what is called a favorable base effect, right? In fact, the drop was less than expected. They were hoping for a bigger drop, but the main point is that Ghana's monthly inflation, which is if you compare inflation today to inflation last month to the previous month, has reached 3.2%. This is the highest since July 2023. Now, the reason this is important is that the year-on-year inflation measures the rate of price increase compared to what was happening last year. So what was happening in June 2023 compared to what's happening in June 2023 is what has led to the drop 2024. So it's May 2023, May 2024 inflation. The rate of increase this year is 23% of that rate last year. But if you compare food prices or whatever price today to what last month, is going up.
So why didn't the journalist tell us?
No. It's always the year-on-year that is reported.
No,
that's the truth.
But the reality of the Ghanaian month.
So what you do is, if you look at the Citi headline, they said annual inflation is lowest, but monthly inflation goes up.
Yeah, so that is the true picture.
But that's why. But we're also journalists. I'm telling you.
No, that's the point I'm making. You see, there's a positive spin on it.
No, it's not a positive spin in the sense that if they stated that and didn't state the monthly.
No, you see, what matters now. What we were discussing yesterday was what? That prices are going up in the market. I'm just saying that
both are important. So if they had reported it and not mentioned the monthly one.
You see, but that gets lost because if I look at the headline, what I'm seeing, inflation has dropped.
It's because every time inflation is reported, it's year-on-year that is reported.
I don't think that's proper. I think we need to reflect the prevailing reality.
Of course.
That's the reason for news. News is
so I'm here telling you that Ghana's monthly inflation has risen to a 10-month high.
Yes.
Accept it.
I accept that.
BNFT also has it. And let me quote the BNFT. Despite the annual easing, month-on-month inflation surged to 3.2%.
That's what we want to
the
hear.
highest in 10 months.
Some people want to hear the other one.
No.
Why do you want to impose what you want to hear on them?
We are suffering it, not the people, the government people.
We are suffering, bro. Anyway, so Kokoma is saying what?
Yes, so we are told that they have made 2 billion Ghana cedis in profit. And the story on the business analyst front page says that Joseph Boahin Edu, Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board, has disclosed that his organization gathered or generated a substantial profit of over 2 billion Ghana cedis during the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Now, speaking on Accra-based Joy FM yesterday, Mr. Edu stated, quote and unquote, today the industry has survived and Cocoa Board today is healthy. And then it goes on to provide
Let me give
details.
you 2 stories.
I just want to quickly mention that they also said that people who are criticizing Cocoa Board for taking too many loans should not really go there because they have used the loans to save the industry.
But the truth is that production has come down because of this Galamsey issue. And we are all suffering because Cocoa Board didn't produce enough. Now, 2 stories on taxes. No new taxes in media budget. Deputy Finance Minister Dr. Alex Ampabi, has announced that the government will not impose any new taxes in the upcoming mid-year budget. Stakeholders have voiced concern about the numerous taxes burdening Ghanaians' business and households. In an interview on Point of View, Dr. Ampabi said the government would not request a supplementary budget. The decision he mentioned was disclosed by the sector minister, Dr. Amin Adam. But he also has something interesting. He says Facebook, YouTube, online trading companies make money in Ghana and must be taxed here.
Trading or trading?
Trading. So, like if you watch a video and they play an advert, that advert is revenue, but they don't pay tax on it. So he's saying that there's something called digital. He says that the what do you call it? The e-levy probably has to be redesigned to deal with these online trading companies who make revenue here but are not taxed, even though our laws say they must be taxed. The question why other national companies operating in Ghana are taxed, but social media platforms like YouTube and Facebook, which run numerous adverts, are not included in the Ghanaian tax system. According to him, these social media companies earn profits from the advertisement they display, and online trading companies also generate income from the sale of their products and services. And therefore he thinks that we need a digital service tax system to capture that.
Okay, quickly though, let me plug into the tax thing. If you go back to the business analyst, Ghana, we're told, is losing some $1.4 billion yearly from illicit financial inflows. That's according to the Tax Justice Network. If you're interested in that story, please get the business analyst.
If we go to the Daily Guide, Show Business Model, DPP airs NAM1. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Yvonne Atakra-Obobisa, has challenged and battled CEO of defunct Men's Gold Ghana Limited, Nana Appiah Mensah, aka NAM1, to open his defense and tell the court the model on which his businesses operated. And there's a quote, all we have to do at this stage is to establish a prima facie case, and we have established it through witnesses and documents we tendered in this trial. What is he afraid of? What is he running away from? He should open his defense and tell us what his business model is. End quote. Now, this was said by the DPP while closing her arguments in opposition to submission of no case filed on behalf of the accused.
Yeah, you have a port story, the issue about locked up medical supplies. The angle I have here is the Ministry of Health has refuted claims that the locked up containers from the Global Fund are essential drugs for TB and HIV. This response comes after concerns raised by the Health Focused Society organizations regarding threats by the Global Fund to halt funding and donations to Ghana if the containers are not cleared from the port. Now, despite assessing from the CSOs that the drugs are decaying at the ports, the Health Ministry's Public Relations Officer Isaac Ofeba maintains that the containers actually hold mosquito nets and not TB drugs. I want to put on record that we have mosquito nets and we don't have anything like HIV or TB drugs locked up at the port.
Is malaria not a crisis in this country?
It is.
So how is that?
So even if it is gauze, they should
take it out. Somebody gave it to you for free. People need those things.
So they shouldn't change the argument.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
But that's the response they're giving, Nathan.
Yes, it's just the same story I was going to give you. The CSOs are threatening a demonstration over locked up drugs. Now, CSOs whose area of operations is HIV, AIDS, TB, malaria. I'm happy that there's a delay in getting the drugs out, and they will hit the streets on the 25th of June if the government continues to drag its feet in clearing the consignments.
Talking about drugs, quickly, if you go to page 8 of the Ghanaian Times, unapproved advertisement, we're told that the FDA has slapped 39 media houses with over 900,000 Ghana cedis in fine. Now, the story quickly by Anita Nyako Yenche says that the Food and Drug Authority has fined 39 media houses across the country, a total of 975,000 Ghana cedis for unapproved advertisement since January to date this year.
Let me give you this very troubling one. Over 30 students of a Jumako Afransi Technical and Vocational Institute, not far from Sam Menzi's hometown, in the Jumako Enyane Siam district of Central Region, have been hospitalized after allegedly consuming contaminated food. According to Channel 1 news sources, the students complained of stomach upset after consuming wache for lunch on Tuesday. Some of the students began vomiting while others lay helplessly in their dormitories after lunch. The attention of the school authorities was drawn to the issue, forcing some teachers of the school to rush the affected students to Jumako Bar and Salvation Army Polyclinic for treatment. Upon hearing the news, parents rushed to the hospital and school to check on their children, and then some details are given. Physician assistant at the hospital said tests are being conducted to determine the root cause of the illness, but this was after they ate a meal of wachi. It's a serious situation that we should not. Now, there are some comments coming in on the traffic. Let me just read this one. There is serious trouble on the Kiseman Pillar 2 road. Some squatters who live along the storm drains have blocked the main road at the bridge section And their reason is that they complained several times that the bridge should be reconstructed because their rooms are flooded when it rains. So they have blocked all vehicles from passing as a way of sending their grievance across.
Wow, that's serious.
This is a public road.
Yeah,
and they block the road and blame the bridge for their rooms getting flooded. Meanwhile, they live close to the storm drain. It's a chaotic scene. This listener sent this message at 6:49 and says, "I've been here since 5:15 a.m.
Yeah, that
no vehicle is able to pass. You know that area. I used to live in those
right.
corners.
Yes.
So this is Kiseman to Pillar 2.
Yeah, that's right. Completely unacceptable.
No vehicle is able to pass, and motorists are frustrated this morning. And then they send a video. Please tell the police to get here ASAP. It's a chaotic scene.
Achimota Police is close by. So
this big road, you know, the road goes down and comes up.
Yeah, that's right. It's a serious matter.
Cause so much traffic in town today.
Look, I mean, that particular road is prone to traffic anyway. But what they are doing creates a mess that
What kind of lawlessness is this?
Charlie.
That because the thing gets flooded, you block all roads. Have you written a letter to anybody? Have you consulted your youth committee member? Where is the local governance people? Where is the local intelligence around all this? So local government MCE, what are they doing?
Indiscipline. What they are doing
the local leaders
if
the local leaders must know these things.
They must know. Yeah.
Because are you telling me that they, by the way, do people even go for meetings? Do they even know whether the local assembly works? You see, when we do politics with these local government things, these are local issues that we should be dealing with. Hey, Charlie, people should wake up.
They tire. As for snake matter, they are trying to tell us that the hotels.
So we are not making money. Is that how you should sell it to someone?
Yeah, that's what they are doing.
We are not children. Please tell us what you do. That is making money.
Do you have a game-changing and innovative business idea or project that can impact the society? This is your moment. Total Energies presents the 4th edition of the Startup of the Year Challenge. This year, we are looking for 3 winners. The best entrepreneur, also called the InnovUp winner. The best project or innovative business idea that exemplifies the principle of recycling and minimizing waste, also called the Cycle Up winner. And the best project that promotes or relates to sustainable and affordable energies, also called the Power Up winner. And that's not all. 4 additional projects in the Power Up category will be selected by an international jury. Don't wait any longer. Apply at www.startupper.totalenergies.com for a chance to win financial support, professional mentorship, and a spotlight for your project. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
City Business News, Ni Latte, brought to you by Access Bank and MTN. Goel. Good morning, Ni.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goel and Access Bank. Coming up this morning, no new taxes in mid-year budget review as economic managers are sure of leveraging current tax handles for revenue generation. Also, government targeting to secure comparable deal with Eurobond holders after reaching debt agreement with official creditor committee in restructuring external debt. Plus, traders demand more decisive interventions to ensure favorable business climate on the back of the decline in the rate of inflation. My name is Ni Latte. Thank you for joining us. Government has given its firm assurance of not introducing new taxes in the mid-year budget presentation. The business community has previously urged the government to scrap certain taxes, citing their adverse impact on business operations. But in an interview on Channel 1 TV's current affairs program, The Point of View with Bernard Avle, Deputy Finance Minister Dr. Alex Ampabin outlined plans to shore up revenue generation.
There are lots of conversation ongoing, but one thing I think on behalf of my minister I can say is that there won't be any new tax in this mid-year budget. But in going forward, we are looking for all avenues to make sure that we enhance revenue. Then,
so just to clear, this mid-year budget will not be a supplementary budget. You will not ask for any new money.
That's what the minister.
You will probably just realign the estimate, but you will not create new taxes for us.
I think one thing I'm very happy.
I just want to get that clear before you move on. So yes, you are very sure
from what has been discussed.
Okay.
That there will be no taxes, and the
no new taxes.
No new taxes. Sorry, I believe there are lots of opportunities within the tax system for us to rake in the needed revenue.
Dr. Alex Ampabin is a deputy finance minister. We stay with that ministry because Ghana is actively finalizing negotiations with Eurobond holders and commercial creditors. This comes after the government has successfully reached a memorandum of understanding with the official creditor committee regarding the debt treatment. The government asserts that it has achieved significant progress in restructuring its debt of over $13 billion. During a media interaction, Finance Minister Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam expressed optimism about securing a comparable deal with the Eurobond holders.
We are hopeful that the agreement with our official creditors will further support the progress we are making in securing a comparable agreement with our private creditors. You know that we continue to negotiate with our private creditors, the Eurobond holders, as well as our commercial creditors. And we hope, God willing, we will come back to you, the people of Ghana, on updates relating to what we are doing with the negotiations with the Eurobond holders and the commercial creditors.
You heard Finance Minister Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam a while longer on the economy, as the World Bank has affirmed its 2.9% GDP growth rate projection for Ghana this year. This surpasses the government target of 2.8% outlined in the 2024 budget by 0.1 percentage point. Here is more from the World Bank's June 2024 Global Economic Prospect Report.
According to the World Bank, growth in sub-Saharan Africa is on the rise, set to surge from 3% in 2023 to a promising 3.5% in 2024, with projections soaring to 4% in 2025. This boost, followed by easing global inflationary pressures, is poised to invigorate private consumption and investment across the region. Zooming in on Ghana, the forecast is even brighter. The World Bank anticipates a robust GDP growth of 2.9% in 2024, with numbers climbing to an impressive 4.4% in 2025 and a staggering 4.9% in 2026. Despite this optimistic outlook, the World Bank sounds a cautionary note. Risk lurk on the horizon, with increased geopolitical tensions posing potential threats. Moreover, there is a concern that consumer price inflation might stubbornly linger or resurge, particularly fueled by food price inflation. And let's not forget the shadow of elevated public debt across the region during this period. In summary, while the prospects are promising, it's crucial to navigate these potential challenges wisely as sub-Saharan Africa charts its course towards a brighter economic future.
That was a Business Desk report. You are still listening to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News with me, Ni Latte. To more stories now, and the business community is urging the government to implement measures that will align the recent decline in the rate of inflation with the foreign exchange rate. This plea follows the 23.1% inflation rate recorded in May, marking a decrease from April's rate of 25%. Let's first hear from President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, who believes such an alignment would significantly alleviate the burden faced by traders when servicing debts.
We are expecting that once we are getting these good indicators, then of course we have to work harder on the depreciation of the cedi, so that it will also help bring down inflation further. So it is very good news, because when prices are high, it doesn't help the growth of businesses. Businesses thrive on turnover, and if inflation is very high, it kills on our turnover, and we are unable to service our debt, especially when our interest rate is also higher because of the same reason. So it is good that inflation drops, and it's a good indicator, but we can still do better if we're able to stabilize the local currency.
You heard President for the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obin. Let's now go to the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, FABAC. John Awuni is Executive Chairman for the association.
It is good once inflation figures are dropping. We will say that is good. But generally, there's still a lot to be done. Prices are still quite very high in the marketplace, and it's making the demand very low. So most businesses are really struggling to sell, and also the value of money we are losing. So I still think that the inflation figures are still quite high, that we need to do a lot. But my disposable income of consumer is also very low. And this is not the best time for the business community. This is not the best time for any entrepreneur. So there's a lot to be done to jubilate over this drop.
Executive Chairman for the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, John Awuni there. A good time to take you to the forex market, where the dollar is selling between 15 cedis 75 pesos and 15 cedis 90 pesos. The British pound selling between 19 cedis 50 pesos and 20 cedis. The euro going for 16 cedis 40 pesos. Away from the forex market to the stock market, where the latest data from the Ghana Stock Exchange indicates that the value of securities listed on the local stock market has increased past the 400 billion Ghana cedis mark. This is equivalent to approximately $27 billion.
The breakdown shows equities listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange were valued at 84 billion Ghana cedis, while the larger fixed income market came in at 328 billion Ghana cedis. However, corporate issuance made up 0.77% of the total value. The data show that the local bourse recorded 4 top price gainers in May 2024. These include New Gold trading 2,867 Ghana cedis in terms of value, followed by GCB Bank with 1,506 cedis, MTN Ghana with 1,171 cedis, and Total Energies 507,729 Ghana cedis. The GSC Composite Index gained 1.81% in May to record a new all-time high of 3,753 points, bringing its year-to-date gain to 19.92%. Following its listing in May 2024, Atlantic Lithium added 2.85 billion Ghana cedis to increase the value of all stocks listed on the markets to 84.2 billion Ghana cedis.
A news desk report before I go on day 4 of week 2 of the Citi Business Festival 2024 on-air series. We discuss impact agriculture with the Chief Finance Director of the Agri Impact Group, Evelyn Brimer, who will be sharing some project interventions to boost agri production.
And one of the interventions is to increase productivity in our food value chain, and also create employment opportunity and incubation for the youth. And also is supposed to also help the youth to use digital platform to create jobs for themselves. It's not everybody that is willing to do the agri, but there are digital stuff that you can also venture into in this agri platform. So Happy is there to do all this, and we have several footprints that we aim to achieve at the end of the day, and one of them is the E-Happy. We have something called E-Happy. That is then the E-Happy is training the youth to use digital platform to provide services in the agri sector.
Evelyn Brimer is Chief Finance Director of the Agri Impact Group. You can catch the full conversation on the topic, which is later this morning at 9 a.m. on the Citi Breakfast Show. Remember that the 2024 edition of the Citi Business Festival is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV in partnership with Absa Bank and is sponsored by MTN Business, Gesal, AMG Fertilizers, and Sano Limited and Agri Impact Limited. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle and Access Bank. My name is Neil Lati. Lati, do have a good business day.
They say a butterfly flapping its wings in Accra can cause a tsunami in Bangkok. So what if your factory in Insawam could shake up the stock market in Hong Kong? What if your business in Elmina could affect fish production in Norway? What if your refinery in Tema could affect the price of petrol in Moscow? Well, now it can because you have access. Access to the bank with the largest number of customers in Africa. Access to our global branch network. Bonjour. Good morning. Our robust asset base and an unparalleled digital infrastructure. So go ahead and flap your wings wherever you are, because with us you have access to an entire world of possibilities. Access more than banking.
Life is a stage and we're all players, playing the supporting role.
The title of my poem is
Playing with rhythm. Playing the lead. Playing to win. Playing with gusto. Playing for the sheer thrill until the curtain falls. Because every journey begins with play. Kickstart yours with MTN. So, what are we doing today? MTN.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Yes, boy.
15 minutes past 7. Business news brought to you by Access Bank. Benefit from instant payments across Nigeria, Liberia, the Gambia, Guinea, Sierra Leone with zero foreign exchange hassle. We're talking about the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, the PAPS. Access Bank can be reached toll free 0800 004400. Go to ghana.accessbankplc.com. Access Bank, more than banking. MTN's eSIM makes it easy for you to stay connected. No need to carry multiple SIMs or multiple phones around, because with the MTN eSIM, you can have multiple numbers linked to just one smartphone. Dial *#06#. Check your phone's eligibility. Download the My MTN app or visit MTN's website to request for an eSIM. Go seamless with MTN's eSIM for convenience and seamless connectivity. So what are we doing today? Kickoff is next. It's brought to us by Leshehu. Oh, I missed the song. Leshehu. Bring back our song. If you want to watch your investment grow with confidence, the Leshehu fixed deposit solution is your best option. You're not just investing, you're making your money work harder for you so you can watch your wealth grow. Don't settle for average returns. Join the investment revolution with our fixed deposit solution and take charge of your financial future. Call 027-004-0799 or send WhatsApp on 027-004-0733. Leshehu, let's improve life. We're also sponsored by Zonda Ghana Limited, your one-stop shop for quality trucks. Shantui excavators, power pickups, TX trucks, graders, payloaders. Roller is called roller. All the things they used to do road, Zonda they do them. We provide top-notch after-sales support for your heavy and light-duty trucks and machinery. Call us on 0501 772 222 or 0501 773 333. Visit us off the Tema Flower Road, close to the Free Zones Enclave. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana. And Shell Helix Ultra Zero W20 SP, specially formulated with a unique Shell Pure Plus tech that actively helps keep your engine clean. It provides unsurpassed wear and sludge protection, leaves your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than industry standard, and enhances the fuel economy. Get Shell Helix Ultra Zero W20 SP to keep your engine purring. Shell Helix, made for premium. Thursday is Nathan Day. So he's back with all the sport news. Welcome.
All right, thank you very much. In the headlines, RTU charged by the GFA for impersonation following their heavy loss to Dreams FC in the Ghana Premier League. The 2024 Ghana Football Awards got launched last night, and in the NBA Finals, the Celtics are 3 up on the Mavs, 1 more win, and they are the new NBA champions. And let's start off with the Ghana Premier League. And Real Tamale United, in addition to getting relegated, could be facing a heavy sanction from the Ghana Football Association. Why? Because yesterday, in their game against Dreams FC, the GFA's investigation revealed that allegedly RTU fielded unregistered players against Dreams FC as some of their first team players boycotted the match over unpaid salaries and entitlements. Now, all of this is stemming from the fact that as RTU lost by 8-1 to Dreams FC, the player said to have scored that singular goal. He later revealed that he was not in Daewoo to play that game. He was in Tamale, and so the question arose, who was the player who scored that goal for RTU? And that prompted the GFA's investigations. And so they have slapped RTU with a charge. They have up until the 14th of June to answer the GFA's, calls and come and explain themselves. But on the positive side, Dreams FC, they won that game by 8-1. They fell behind after 4 minutes, but they responded, and Ajeni Boati Mensah scored 5 of the 8 goals, and that result has all but secured their place in next season's Ghana Premier League campaign. We wait to see what will happen to RTU in that particular episode. But in terms of Ghana football, the football is played on pitches, and in the last few weeks, months, or even years, lots of the stakeholders have been complaining bitterly about the state of pitches in Ghana. Most recently, the Black Stars had to play on a very dodgy looking pitch against the Central African Republic at the Baba Yara Stadium. And former Black Star striker Augustine Ahimfo, he was speaking to City Sports exclusively, and he emphasized the need to improve the state of pitches in Ghana to ensure that players are comfortable either playing in the league or when they represent the senior national team or any of the country's national teams.
I believe that, like Thomas said, when we have good pitches to play on, we will definitely have good football to observe. And yes, I have observed the Legon pitch. The playing pitch itself, it's not the best, even though it's a new stadium that was recently commissioned. I think we have to begin to navigate or move ahead with the type of grass that we bring to plant, especially on our national stadiums. And then after planting, to make sure that we take very good care of the pitch. Because I don't need to be the one to say, but our culture of maintenance is nothing to write home about. And so those who are in charge of the pitch should be professionals, so that when they don't do their work well, we can take them on. So let's hope that the government will look at this aspect of it, because the national teams, if not for the local teams, for the national teams belongs to the people of Ghana. And so players should not put themselves at risk of getting injured because of a pitch. We also in Kumasi, when it was raining, how soggy the pitch was. It rains all over in Europe, it snows. But once it is cleared, football goes on unabated.
Former Black Stars striker Augustine Ahimfo speaking then. He was speaking on the sidelines of the launch of the 2024 Ghana Football Awards, and that launch was done last night at the Big Leagues Sports Lounge in Osu. The awards 6 years old, is going strong, getting better each and every year. So many categories were revealed yesterday: Player of the Year, Men's and Women's Home-Based Player of the Year, Top Scorer, Men's and Women's Coach of the Year, and all of that. Alex Kote, he is one of the board members of the Ghana Football Awards. He's been sharing his insights on this year's upcoming events, which will happen on the 29th of June.
I think that for the first time after the 5th year, this ceremony has been very great. We have had some criticisms, even though we also do the same. Anytime the board meets, we also do the same thing. We criticize the list that are submitted to us. We ask a lot of questions, and so for me, I think that it is just adding on to whatever the board has done, and so it's a very good exercise, so that at the end of the day, at least everybody knew or knows about the input or what went into the nominees. So fantastic.
So that was Alex Cote. He's a referees manager at the Ghana Football Association and a board member of the Ghana Football Awards. Let's get to Europe, where Wayne Rooney, former England forward, has selected his preferred starting 11 for England's Euro 2024 opener this weekend against Serbia at the Veltins Arena. England are hoping to do very well. Players like Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham are the players carrying the hopes of England. And for Wayne Rooney, he has put together a very interesting potential starting 11 that he would like to see on Sunday.
I would have took him, if I'm being honest. I think Bowen on the right, they've got Saka, they've got Cole Palmer, Foden can play out there. I would have took Grealish instead of Bowen, just to give a bit more balance. I think he brings something a bit different as well. And Branthwaite was the one for me. I think just for the balance of the back line, big lad, good on the ball, has a good season. I think for me, I would have took him. Yeah, I think he'd be disappointed because, especially obviously Eze coming in to the squad, Anthony Gordon coming to the squad, Cole Palmer's obviously had an unbelievable season. I think he can play out wide as well, Maddison, but his best position is number 10, and then, just as you said, the lads in there, you thought, I think having 26-man squad, Garrett's got the luxury of maybe taking the players who he probably knows.
Former England forward Wayne Rooney speaking. Let's end stateside, where the Boston Celtics are one win away from clinching the 2024 NBA title after they beat the Dallas Mavericks 160-99 in Dallas to take a huge 3-0 lead in the series. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown combined for 61 as the Celtics held off the Mavs late in the fourth quarter. Game 4 is on Friday in the US, but early Saturday morning here. If the Celtics win, they are champions. If the Mavericks win, then just maybe they keep the series alive. And that's how we end kickoff this morning, probably brought to us by Zonda, Lecheho and Shell. My name is Nathan Kwame. Many thanks for listening. There's more sports on citisportsonline.com, plus more news in our subsequent bulletins on radio and on Channel 1 TV. And later tonight at 10 p.m. on Channel 1 TV, I'll be there to present the City Sports Roundup, giving you the latest from the world of sport. Do have a fantastic day. Stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.
There are some classy celebrations that call for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than the industry standard, and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
Innovative financial solution. Deliver on a promise, cause we are number one. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's go, we improve your life.
Guys, Charlie, you know that mining contract
contract I've been chasing for years. I just got awarded a deal. But the issue is where to get the right and quality heavy-duty trucks to execute this job here in Ghana.
Relax, my guy. Remember my recent construction deal at Pokwase? Zonda sorted me out.
Zonda? What? Who is that?
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for machinery, heavy and light-duty trucks, and pickups. They have the Shantui bulldozers, graders, payloaders, rollers, power pickups, 4-land light trucks, TX trucks, and oil tanks. Made and assembled right here in Ghana with top-notch after-sales service and standard prices.
Made in Ghana. This is amazing.
You haven't seen my Zonda Power pickup, which I take to the office. Strong, durable, and tough on our roads.
Hey, that's from Zonda too?
Absolutely. Zonda is the right place for you, my guy.
Oh, now I am sorted with Zonda. Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, your solution for heavy and light-duty trucks. Located at Tema, off their Flower Road. Call 0501-772-222 or 0501-773-333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Eid Mubarak. Celebrate this Eid al-Adha with joy, love, and the perfect gift from Samsung. This Eid, we are offering incredible discounts and bundle freebies on selected phones in the A series in shops nationwide. Whether you are connecting with family far away or capturing precious moments from the celebration, we have the perfect phone at the perfect price. From stunning display to high-speed performance, these deals are too good to miss. Whether for yourself or for those you love, this Eid, give the gift of connection and technology. This year, with a change inside, so you can enjoy discount on the Samsung Galaxy A05 and A15, 100 and 150 CDs respectively. This offer is from 5th to 22nd June 2024. Samsung wishes you all Eid Mubarak.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change. It's week 2 of the Citi Business Festival here at 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. Stay connected to us as we dive into the excitement of week 2 of the Citi Business Festival 2024 with a focus on agribusiness. Join us on 97.3 Citi FM as we bring you week 2 of the on-air series with interesting topics this Monday to Thursday at 9 a.m. on the Citi Breakfast Show. Catch our insightful virtual Citi Business Festival roundtable live on Channel 1 TV with experienced thought leaders this Tuesday, 11th of June 2024 from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Also, make a date with us for the Agribusiness Forum this Friday, 14th of June 2024. The venue is the Alisa Hotel North Ridge, Accra, and the time is 10 a.m. Stay tuned and let's talk about everything agribusiness on the Citi Business Festival in week 2 of the month of June, only on 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. For more information on the Citi Business Festival 2024, kindly call 0205-973-973. The Citi Business Festival 2024 is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV in partnership with Absa Bank and is sponsored by MTN Business, Gersal, AMG Fertilizers, Insano Limited, and Agri Impact Limited.
Auntie can cook.
Dedo, what are spices? Dedo, you be dear Philly.
We be in the dynamic ground. But Dedo spices here what Jenny says. Nanya good taste. If we say yeah the natural spices and yeah Ghana hey I mean you want all purpose stew, noodles, curry and nutmeg and a jollof. Dedo spices. Taste yummy. Taste lemon. Dedo spices. Taste inside.
I am Ohinere Gifty Auntie.
You see, it always feels good when you receive that salary alert. I made a bold decision to invest a lump sum into the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan. And this means that I will get these alerts every month throughout retirement for the rest of my life. You too can retire on your own terms. So invest a lump sum in the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan today and enjoy guaranteed monthly income for life. Call Old Mutual on 050-453-4333 or visit oldmutual.com.gh to sign up today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Happy birthday to Bernie Sofosu of the Audit and Assurance Department, Samuel King Mensah and Ernest Opombempa of the Tax and Regulatory Department, all of Deloitte Ghana, from your country managing partner, Daniel Kojo Owusu, and all staff of Deloitte. To Bernie Sofosu, Samuel King Mensah and Ernest Opombempa, happy birthday to you. To lawyer Mrs. Patience Owusu Ajiman of Smith Pension House, from your husband Kweku Owusu Ajiman Esquire, and the children Nana, Papa, and Ohima. May the Lord bless your new age with long life and happiness.
Hey, listen up to your local radio. You better hear what it's got to say.
It's not a problem that I can't fix, cause I can do it in the mix. And if your man gives you trouble, just to move out on the double, and you don't let it trouble your brain, cause away goes trouble down the drain. Said away goes trouble down the drain.
A bank that can partner you to do great things, APSA. We know no great stories about rating a loan with a little help from APSA Supplier Finance Program. You can pay your suppliers early, so they pay later, or so that you pay later. And you can extend your payment terms without compromising your supplier relationship. By optimizing your working capital, your suppliers will also benefit from early access to funds, enhancing their financial stability and cash flow. Visit absa.com.ga to speak to your relationship manager today for more details on the ABSA Supplier Finance Program. Your story matters, ABSA.
Last night a DJ saved my life with a song.
When it comes to story tanks in Ghana, the name we all know is polytank. Now that it's raining, imagine if you had a rain harvesting system. You need a tank that will be resilient. We've been doing this for over 30 years. The trusted name for generations. First and certainly the best. Choose quality, choose Polytank. Polytank near Papa Nunye. Caution, Polytank does not request for Momo payments online. We're talking about the hustle and bustle of urban chaos. The Fraco Woodlands offers a safe respite, a sanctuary, a master planned gated city. You know, if you live in a master planned area and you work within 15 minutes of where you live, you will live longer because your blood pressure will be lower. You inhale less dust. You can actually increase. Why do you think Japan, they grow older than most countries in the world?
Because they live in very organized spaces.
Look, I think the most important distinction in societies is order. The more orderly a society is, the longer people live, the better the quality of life. Chaos only profits evil people. Yeah, order is the accurate arrangement of things. And I think the creator's obsession is order. Everything is in order. In fact, when you violate the natural order, you get punished. That's why he calls iniquity transgression, going against the order. So let me deal with the Fraco and I'll deal with Japan. So we have a 592-acre landscape. We've serviced the plots. We call it a self-sustaining community. Even if you don't want to live there, go and see what they're doing so it will inspire you. Right? So call Deftraco and say, look, Aloski has been talking about Deftraco. I want to come and see. 0208-732-302. Clubhouses, fitness centers, swimming pools, Charlie. The whole shebang, they have it. Visit woodlands.defracogroup.com for more information. We need more. You know, I was at a program last 2 weeks, the Ghana Urban Forum, and somebody asked the question. The person said, Aloski, I said yes. He said, have you gone to the UK before? I said yes. I said, okay. Do people have houses in UK? I said yes. Then he asked me, when people want to build houses in UK, do they go and see a chief to buy land? You see, he said, do you see? He asked how many people are in UK? I said, about 50-something million. I said, okay. Do you see people going to get contractor to go and collect sand? They go to site, they are going to buy land, they go and meet the chief, and they do digging fee. Do you see all those things? I said, no. They asked me that, but you could live in your house. I said, yes. Then he said, so do you think that this is our approach where Nathan can say, Charlie, I've got some money from some galamseys. Then he goes to OEB to see the chief and he goes to buy land. Then he go and call Sky to give him some guy to do survey. Then he goes to Lands Commission. Then he come. By the time he finishes building a house, he may not even live long to live in the house. Because the stress of all the things he will do, then they go and look at site plan. Then they'll come. Then they start in land guards. I want digging fee. Then you go and call the police. By the time he finishes building that house, not only has he spent 20 million, he spent all his life. But he asked me, he said, can you just buy land and start building? So why can't we say in Ghana, from 2025, only developers should be allowed to buy land, and the developer must come with a plan that fits a master plan. You get it? So we are saying we've done enough foolishness in the past, so it's okay. From 2025 going, if you want to build a house, not a problem. Sky, you want to build a house, go and find a developer who will buy a plot and service it so that you can only build on a service plot as a law. So we are not saying chiefs shouldn't sell land, but sell it. You get me? But this idea that everybody can buy land, build and paint any color. Sometimes they are even building at places that we have not planned for houses yet. You see the point I'm making? There has to be a plan. The difference between advanced societies and us is we don't want to plan. And so the quality of life. You see, as I said, if you live in a place that's well planned, you can calculate when you get to work. You breathe better air. You are less stressed. Here, look at Kisema. This morning you woke up from, maybe you live at Parakou Estate, and you work at, maybe, give me a place, Bema Camp. You are stuck. Because some squatters have decided that they will block the road because some flooding matter. You get it? This is not quality life. And until we see, that's why it's good to travel, to see the way we build. It doesn't make sense. You get it? I mean, I don't even know what example to use. Like, the society has not woken up to order. Order. You know what I mean by order?
Yeah.
Order. Like, you go to a place. The first time I went to Dubai, this is 2007 or so. I was like, did they ask them to paint their houses the same? Everything is straight. Every line is straight. And the houses, you don't see green, blue, yellow. It's not like, no. It's like there's a standard for a house, the height. There are places some houses are higher, some are lower, but they are straight lines. The houses are painted a particular way. If you go to the UK, most houses have the same, they look the same. It's order. You see, so ants, insects. The Bible says the ants are a people not strong, yet they plan their meal. If you look at even animals, the way they work, ants, when they are building, there's nothing order to the way they build. But we in Ghana here, take a drive to even Gomoa East, where new houses are developing, Kaswa areas. Like, newly developing. This is not 1975 development too. Somebody has built a house. In fact, there are some places in Accra you can't drive your car to your house because they are building their house like we are playing Ludo. I mean, how do you? So what's the purpose of education? Why do we go to church? Why are we trained? If you cannot organize, there are places in Accra. You are walking. Maybe you are walking to your house. You have to pass through somebody's kitchen to enter your own house. How can you live like this? And these are new developments too. Somebody will build in the middle of a road. You can't do anything because the DC is my uncle or my party is in power. Just say the stupidity is so. Like, you went to Japan. Nathan, you went to Japan. Yeah, I did. I haven't gone to Japan, but all the things I've seen, you said they are what? Millennium.
Yeah, I was telling some friends when I came back, and I told them that China, I've seen the future.
You've seen the future?
I was telling you, they're like millennia ahead.
In everything?
In everything.
Why is that?
Why? I think it boils down to a number of things.
No, first tell us what you saw first. And then
what I saw.
We want to see the saw before the white. Otherwise, you think we are just being
what I saw ordered spaces.
Ordered spaces.
Clean roads. No potholes.
You didn't see one?
No dirty streets.
You didn't see refuse on the ground?
No way.
Oh, wow. Human beings live.
Don't they have Zoom line on there? No baller.
No baller.
No hawkers on the street.
No hawkers. You won't see anybody selling anything on the street.
In Japan?
In Japan.
Which part of Japan is this?
So I went to 3 places.
Okay.
I went to Osaka. Then I went to Suruga. So I spent a few days in Suruga. So we walked around. Suruga is a small town of 63,000 people. It's a very, very small town, surrounded by mountains. Right? 63,000 people.
Are there houses on the hills?
Oh, not houses on the hills. Lots of houses. So if you are moving between towns or moving between cities, you find houses, but they are always built at the base of the mountains.
Okay.
And then the mountains are preserved. So you can see the mountains in all their glory.
Wow.
The trees are growing, the habitat is preserved. And they told us that even some of those mountains have wild animals there. That's how preserved those spaces are. They are not endangered. They are untouched.
So I've opened the map. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So you went to Suruga.
We landed in Osaka. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then we went to Suruga.
And then from there, where did you go?
Then we went from Suruga to Tokyo.
So is Tokyo in the north or south?
Tokyo is
the middle, southeast.
Southeast.
And then Osaka is where?
Osaka. I think Osaka should be further south because the train went up. So I think slightly further.
I'm looking
south.
for it. Okay, no problem. So okay, fine. So let's talk about transportation.
Good. So transportation.
So you landed in Osaka.
We landed in Osaka.
And then from Osaka you went to Suruga.
We went to Suruga by bus.
Was it by road, by bus?
It was by bus.
How long is that?
It was a 2-hour ride.
From Osaka.
From Osaka to Suruga. So about Suruga. 2 hours or so. 2 hours.
2 hour ride. Okay. And
on the way, that was when I first started to notice the landscape. So like I said, Japan is very mountainous. So they make use of every little flat space they get.
Okay.
Because it's very mountainous. So the flat spaces, of course, they build the roads. The roads are built into the mountains. You go through tunnels and all of that.
How long is the distance between Suruga and Osaka? You should keep these things in your
Yeah,
head.
I need to.
But it was a bus ride.
It was a bus ride.
No
It was a
problem.
bus ride, about 2 hours.
And you spent how long in Suruga?
So I was in Suruga for about 3 days.
It's like a very rustic village.
Yes,
small town kind of
60,000,
thing.
lovely layouts. There's a river running through. Now, Suruga's look or its beauty stems from the fact that there's a nuclear plant that's not too far away. It's called the Ohi nuclear plant.
Wonderful.
So once the plant was constructed, they had to spruce up the city because people would come and live and work in the reactors and things. So the place is really nice, even though it's very, very small.
Okay. So from Suruga, where did you go?
Then we went to Tokyo.
Okay, so just quickly, if you look at the map, plotting it, Osaka is down there in the south.
Yes, then you go up.
And then towards the middle, you have Tokyo there.
Yeah.
And then up north, you have Suruga.
Suruga. So we went
almost
and came back.
coastal community.
Yes,
Yeah, so Osaka is also on the coast.
Yes.
But Tokyo is in the middle.
Tokyo is in the middle.
And then you have Suruga in the
Yes,
north.
so
Just like you have Accra, you have Kumasi in the middle.
So we are still talking about transportation.
Yes. So then
You drove by bus.
We went to the bus. Lovely rest stops in between.
Wonderful.
I went to buy beef kebab.
So from Suruga to Tokyo.
Suruga to Tokyo, that was one of the most interesting trips. We went via the bullet train. The bullet train is called the Shinkansen.
The bullet train.
Yes, bullet train. So the first time, at least the contingent, the first time I saw the bullet train, we were on the bus from Osaka to Suruga, and we saw the bullet train going past us.
How fast does it go?
Very fast, about 250 kilometers per hour.
How long is the Suruga from the Tokyo?
That's 578 kilometers.
Hey, almost 600 kilometers?
Yes.
How long did it take you?
3 hours, 11 minutes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
500 kilometers?
578
in 3 hours.
kilometers.
How long is Accra from Kumasi? Kumasi in Accra is 230 kilometers or something. And it's 4 hours by road. And the bullet train is quick.
The bullet train is very quick. If we had gone by bus, it would have taken us 8 hours.
And you did it in 3 hours?
We did it in 3 hours, 11
Kumasi
minutes.
is 250 kilometers.
And it takes 4 hours or 3?
Three, yeah, okay. Accra to Kumasi. But the
so you
train
did
ran
578
kilometers.
In
3 hours, 11 minutes.
Nathan, can somebody plot 500 kilometers from Accra? If you leave Accra in 500 kilometers, where will that take you? Is that Tamale or is that Techimano?
It'll take you to somewhere around Tamale. Be a little beyond Tamale.
Or Kintampo.
Okay,
500
so,
kilometers from Accra?
To,
You did it in 3 hours?
Yes.
And the bullet train is very fast.
Really, really quick.
And
really,
it's interesting
really
you remember the 11 minutes.
I remember, yeah, because I
there's
found
precision there.
Yes, it's very, very precise. So we hopped onto the bullet train and then we zoomed off to Tokyo.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you say you didn't see any pothole when you were on the road?
Bro.
How are the roads? How many lanes?
Look, different types of routes. So you would find roads that were, let's say, 3 lanes in one direction, and maybe there's no other road coming towards you. So basically 3 lanes in one direction. You could find 4 lanes in one direction and then 4 lanes on the other side. Mix like different.
But the
types
point I mean, Japan is a big country.
It's a very big country.
Did you see like people crowded at bus stops and things? A lot of people.
So that we saw in Tokyo. We took the train. We went to a place called Akihabara, and then when we were coming back, it was evening, let's say around 7-8 p.m. and then you had a lot of people on the train. But during the day, the train stations aren't that full. What you find are lots of people moving around, but not a lot of people huddled around the terminals because people are moving up and down and all of that.
So if you take 500 kilometers from Accra, 572 kilometers, it will take you to Yendi. And if you want to go to Yendi, it will take you 10 hours, 55 minutes by road. If you use the Kumasi road, it will take you 11 hours, 12 minutes. So basically, if you are doing the same distance that he did in 3 hours, you use like 10 hours in Ghana.
Yes.
So because we don't have a bullet train.
No, we don't.
Our train is not even finished in Pakadan train.
Yeah. So
for very, very bad roads, you do 10 hours.
So
they have a bullet train.
A bullet train, and the bullet train crisscrosses the country, goes from one end to the other. And
so this is a high-speed train.
High-speed train, hourly. So you book your ticket, book your cabin, you pay.
Oscar, this bullet train is supposed to be faster than the fast. You know when you are doing UK, like Manchester to London, you can do the Virgin train. Fast train.
Yep.
But I think this one is faster.
Oh, this is quick.
Yeah.
This is quick.
How many kilometers per hour?
About 250, between 240 and
very,
250.
very fast.
Very quick. You should see it from you don't experience the speed when you are inside. But if you see it from the outside, then you see how rapid it is. Wow. And we saw it once on our drive to Suruga.
So China has the fastest bullet train.
which is
286
yes.
MPH.
Yes, I'm not surprised.
Did you speak to some Ghanaians in Japan? Later, you can bring the audios for us.
Yes, I'll do that. So I spoke to 3 Ghanaians.
What did they say?
No, so I spoke to 3 Ghanaians. 2 of them were PhD students, and then one was this gentleman called Samuel Lenin. He's been in Japan since 1989.
What did he tell you?
He says, look, Japan is an amazing country. He talks about the order, the discipline, the culture, and the fact that they are just all of that stems.
Do they have MPP, NDC?
Oh, no.
They don't. Do they have? They don't have those things.
No. You have. Their parliament is called the Diet, the National Diet, and then they have an emperor who is a very ceremonial, and then you have a prime minister. But I think what holds Japan down is the strength of its local government structure and that relationship between. So local government is split into 2 levels. They have what is called the prefecture, which is the larger ones, and then the municipalities. So the prefecture, so for example, if you go, there's the Tokyo prefecture, blah, blah, blah. Then you have the municipalities, Shinjuku, this, that kind of thing. And they have a very strong bond in terms of, Japan is federal, but even though it's federal, they have a very strong bond with central government. The funding trickles down very quickly, very efficiently, but also the local governments also do very well to generate their own money. And they are empowered by the law to deal directly with the problems and needs of their respective spaces. So there's no need to go back to central government and say, oh, there's a problem I need to fix. They will fix it at their level because the law as it's set up in Japan gives them enough strength and power to deal with all the issues they have to deal with in their various spaces.
So they are almost 130 million.
Almost 130 million. And the other bit about Japan that I experienced is the software, the way they think, the way they act, their mindset, their attitude, and the values that drive them as people. And I'll give you an example. We went to the Hitachi factory.
Hitachi?
Yeah.
Have you seen Hitachi? I think Hitachi, they used to do fridge, they used to do TVs.
Yes. And where we went, that plant is a partnership between Hitachi and GE. So it's called the Hitachi GE factory. It's in a place called Ibaraki, not too far from Tokyo. And there's something they have put at their reception area. It says, rivet your soul into your work. Rivet your soul into your work.
Wow, what does that mean?
So effectively, their employees are taught to give 120% into their work. You take your work very personally.
Rivet your soul into your work.
And you do it very, very, very well.
Wow.
And it cuts across everywhere I went, from simple corner shops to big supermarkets to restaurants. You had people who were ready
This Hitachi?
Work. Yeah, this Hitachi GE.
What do they do?
So Hitachi GE, they manufacture parts for nuclear plants.
But they do other things as
well. They do other things. So they have several divisions. The division I went to was one.
Because Hitachi, I've seen Hitachi radios and Hitachi.
Yes.
Talking of equipment, Panasonic is Japanese, Hitachi is Japanese.
Yes.
Sharp is Japanese.
Sharp is Japanese.
Toshiba is Japanese. Haya Thermocool.
Where is Sony from?
Sony is Japanese.
Sony is Japanese.
Mitsubishi Electric is Japanese. Haya is Japanese. There are quite a lot.
Yes, and I'll tell you a very interesting story about Hitachi GE.
Fujitsu,
yes.
NEC, Samsung is Korean, by the way.
Samsung is Korean, yes. So I asked the question that why did Hitachi decide to venture into the nuclear space? And the director told me something interesting. He said, in the 50s, when the Japanese government decided to go nuclear, the Japanese government called the 3 biggest companies at the time, so Toshiba, Hitachi, and Mitsubishi, and asked them, this was the direction the country was going into. What could they do to help? So all of them were manufacturing electronics, and they decided to create divisions to support the broad plan of going nuclear. So initially they started off as collaborators or as partners in the space. And then when they all developed enough financial muscle and strength, then they started to compete against each other. But still supporting the broader idea of Japan going nuclear. And interestingly, Hitachi GE's power is actually supplied by Mitsubishi. So they buy power from Mitsubishi.
Wow. Hitachi was founded in 1910.
1910, yes.
Where were we in 1910?
I have some material I'll give to you.
So how come they are so far ahead?
How come they are so far ahead?
Because you said you didn't see rubbish on the road. Did you see...
That's the place you went to. Are you sure that?
Bro, and last I'm saying where I went, and we went. I said I even went to a small town of Suruga, 63,000 people, and we didn't find anything laid out basa. No.
Overgrown weed in the median.
Bicycles are parked where bicycles are supposed to park. Cars are parked where cars are supposed to park. Houses are lined according to the streets in color, lining, in length, in height, in size.
Everything is precise.
Everything is precise.
You went to dark streets?
Dark streets? No, the lights are working.
Traffic lights
on point.
But I'm told Japan is even in this matter. They are even ahead of the West.
Yeah.
I mean, look, fine. We watch a lot of media from the West, so we think like the US. We idolize the Western societies. But I'm told that Japan. I mean, I haven't been there, but from what he's saying and what we've read, Japan seems to be even ahead of US in the way they are organized. I'm told, for example, that on the streets, people who are going this way walk on one side, and those who are coming, like when you're in New York, people are walking and they are colliding with each other. They are moving from 5th Street to 25th Street. In Japan, those who are going this way are on this road. Those who are coming on this road. It's all part of Kaizen.
Yes.
There are dimensions of Kaizen, how to basically maximize what you have.
I'll
very useful, principles of life. Ikigai.
I'll read something to you. I took a picture of a certain guide. This was in the Tokyo Observatory. The Tokyo Observatory exists in the Tokyo City Hall. Now, it used to be the tallest building in Tokyo until it was overtaken by the Sky Tree. Now, when you're on the 47th floor of the Tokyo Observatory, you see the whole of Tokyo. Now, when you get there, on floor 1 or the ground floor, there's something pasted there. It says, "How to Hello Tokyo. Tips for Tokyo sightseeing." Tip number 1, put your rubbish in the bin.
Tip number 1.
Yes. Okay. Tip number 2, be mindful when taking pictures. Tip number 3, keep your voice down in public areas. And I observed this on the train. On the train, everybody is quiet. Even those when people are talking, it's undertone. 3, please stand in line. And I saw this a lot in Tokyo. Wherever you went, if there was a queue, you stood in line.
You know, say in Ghana, watches have really do queue. They say the queue self is not correct. Charlie, you can look at little things and say that these people are not serious.
You call it advance.
And tip number 4, no outside food or drinks.
Serious?
So if you are entering a space where they sell, don't bring your own food and drinks there. Tip number 5, keep the toilet clean.
Don't even try that here.
Tip number 6, take off your shoes. Or tip number 6.
When you enter somebody's room.
When you're entering we went to a particular...
They are obsessed with cleanliness.
Yes. When a particular restaurant we went into, we were told to take off our shoes outside. And it was a traditional Japanese restaurant. We sat on the floor to eat. We sat on cushions.
You removed your shoes.
We took off our shoes.
You sat on the floor.
And they lined the shoes up. There was a particular place we went to. Before we got in, we had to take off our shoes.
And they lined the shoes?
They lined the shoes up in order.
And the floor is so clean, you sit down.
Sit down. We sat on mats. Tip number 7, no tipping required. In Japan, you don't tip.
At all.
You do not tip. Why?
Even security
you do not, because they are doing their work. They don't understand why you should give them extra money. They get paid anyway.
So in
a shop in Japan, you cannot buy and say, "Oh, keep the change." No way. They will give you the change because they don't need it. Tip number 7, the last one. Treat cultural assets with respect.
Wow.
Treat cultural assets with respect.
You mean
so if it's a statue, don't deface it. Don't just leave the things as you saw.
If you want to go through the 7 again.
So these are the tips. 1, put your rubbish in the bin. 2, be mindful when taking pictures. 3, keep your voice down in public areas. Please stand in line. No outside food or drinks. Keep the toilet clean. Take off your shoes. No tipping required. And treat cultural assets with respect.
Can you send it to me? I want to implement it in my house. Let me not think about it. Let me implement it in my house.
So put your rubbish in the bin.
No.
So as you can see, I captured this.
I can't preach what I don't practice.
No, we should print it and put it at Citi FM.
No, I want to do it in my house.
So
put your rubbish in the bin is number 1.
Yes, so I'm coming. This was captured at the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Office.
Okay. And this is for those who enter Tokyo first.
Yes.
So let's take it one by one. Put your rubbish in the bin.
Yeah, that's just to ensure cleaning.
And then I remember, please stand in
says, be mindful when taking pictures.
That's number 2.
Keep your voice down in public areas.
Ghana, we haven't read that memo.
The next one, please stand in line.
Please stand in line. That's very powerful.
Please stand. So wherever we went, Bernard, so
lorry station,
when we got to the subway and we wanted to buy our train tickets to go wherever, there was a queue.
There's even a space for you to stand.
It's marked out. Yes. Stand here.
So they don't even. It's just like a Kanban box. So you stand here and the rest you stand and wait.
Stand there.
Stand in queue. Number 5.
No outside food or drinks.
Very important.
Keep the toilet clean. Keep the toilet clean.
Charlie.
Next one. Take off your shoes. Next one. No tipping required.
Wow.
And last one. Treat cultural assets with
8 or
respect.
7.
This is 9.
So let's decide. Let's not make anything. Let's decide which one we implement in our own house first.
Oh no! For me, you can't come to my house wearing shoes and enter. No.
So you're implementing number 8.
Yes. Rubbish. You keep it. Yes. Which other ones are there?
Keep your voice down.
Voice down. No, I'm from the coast, so I'm always.
But Japan have more coast than you.
No. You see, when I coast,
the whole of Japan is a coast.
Wait, when I coast, stop it. You see the Atlantic Ocean. You know how very violent it is.
Sky.
And so when you grow up in the coast, you are shouting always.
Do you know that the noise making thing? Do you know that when COVID came and human beings were in their houses, nature was regenerating itself?
Yeah.
Our noise is destroying nature. Look, my friend was at Warwick University. He said during COVID, when everybody went home and few people were in their rooms, he said the swans, they blossomed and they took over the campus. It was like nature was taking itself back. So we are the people who destroyed all these things.
But
so please don't shout.
No, see, to be fair, you know, if you like, it's not culture. It's because of how.
Let's not justify. There's too much noise in Accra.
But no, I understand. I'm
coming to somebody takes a megaphone. Even you are in a trotro.
That is wrong.
You are in a trotro. Somebody is on the phone. He's shouting.
Yes.
And Charlie, we have to. It's not even the question of shouting. You see, the basis is respect.
Yes.
So it's not about shouting. It's what they are saying is that all the 9 laws you read, these are laws of honor and respect. Yes. Let's take it one by one. The first law is what?
Read it one. First one.
Keep the environment. Don't put rubbish. So respect the environment. Honor the environment. What's number 2?
Be mindful when taking pictures.
Honor people's privacy. Respect somebody's privacy. What's number 3?
Keep your voice down.
Respect people's right to silence.
Order.
What's number 4?
Please stand in line.
Yes, order.
Respect the process. Don't just be bad. It's all respect.
Order.
So you see, he's right. Sky, the problem with us is what's the underlying soft issue that brings us together? Do you get it? And if that's not drummed home, so Japan is great not because of the buildings and the fact that the streets are clean, but because they go by certain ethos. This ethos, if you live by it, you can see how your life will be.
You know, at the base of this is equality.
Many things.
Yes.
Equality,
respect,
honor, respect. And we disrespect environment, respect other people.
I saw the
respect for culture.
We don't respect anything.
I saw the cleanliness bit in action. Whenever we went out and we came back to our hotel, before we got off the bus, our Japanese handler will say, everybody, here is a poly bag. Put your rubbish in the poly bag. And he goes around from seat to seat to collect everybody's rubbish.
And you saw that at the World Cup, right?
Yes, they cleaned up after themselves.
Yes, they cleaned up after themselves.
So Skyweight, what should we do now?
But I think this has been played out elsewhere and is working.
What should we do?
We should adopt it. And we start, you see, all the people listening to us, if you decide that in your small space, in your offices, in your churches, in your mosque, in your homes, you go by this, we'll create an ordered society.
So let's respect time.
Because
let's bring you to the It's brought to us by.
It's brought to you by Telecel and First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana says we used to be FB and Bank, now we are First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana is the new name, so stay tuned in and discover the newer and exciting ways we are putting you first. First Bank Ghana is part of the First Bank Group that is 130 years strong. First Bank Ghana, you first. And Telecel says you are having the world at your fingertips because we are here. Whatever you want to do, you can do that quick and reliably. You can have a communication that is quick. You can have stress-free money transaction via Telecel Cash. You transform your big business ideas into success stories with us and more. So connect with us and enjoy a world of endless possibilities, because with Telecel, there is no limit to connections. Telecel, connecting energies.
I think you're already trending. you give us the trends for the
champion.
Okay, all right. Let's get into the trends very quickly. Dreams FC trending. Yesterday they beat RTU by 8-1, but the twist is not the result. The twist is the fact that RTU's lone goal scorer says he wasn't at the game. So the mystery is who scored that goal.
So what are you talking about?
So this is what happened. So RTU's, the player who scored the goal, he was there technically per the team sheet, but he later granted an interview and said he wasn't there. It turns out RTU presented a different set of players who were unregistered. So the GFA has sanctioned, though they've charged RTU with impersonation.
Okay.
So they are saying
that's the honor bit we're talking about. I mean, why do you do that?
So they've asked RTU to come and answer by tomorrow. They should respond. Okay, so that's that. Just staying with the sporting side of things, the NBA finals are happening. The basketball fans are happy. Names like Kyrie, Lucas, Celtics. But now the Boston Celtics are 3-0 up in the series. One more win and they are NBA champions. Whoa. So that's what's happening with the Celtics. Just a quick diversion into the tech space. Samsung Electronics, who are Korean, are saying that its contract manufacturing business plans, and they plan to offer a one-stop shop to clients to get all their AI chips made faster, integrating its global #1 memory chip foundry and chip making packages to harness the AI boom. Now, with clients working with a single channel of comms that directs Samsung's memory chip foundry and chip packaging teams at once, the time it takes to produce AI chips, usually weeks, has been cut down by 20%, Samsung said on Wednesday. Now, they expect the global chip industry revenue to grow to $778 billion by 2028, and all of that will be boosted by the sales of AI chips.
Second, show me that trends.
Going up? Yes. After you. No, you first. No, please. I insist. You first. I wouldn't dare, my friend. You first. Beauty before brains, my friend. You first. The honor would be mine. You first.
Oh, my word. And I hear they were there the whole day. Our employees take our You First philosophy to a whole new level. Get used to a bank that believes in putting you first. FBN Bank is now First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana. You first.
Auntie T, abeg, fix me go betete Ghana. No garri, no oil, no plantain, just beans and eggs.
Hey, brah, that be dangerous combination, no.
Problem no day. I fit handle am.
For Telecel, with the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, you fit get your own data and call packages. Fala! Made For Me bundles like the way you want them. That *530#, then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Are you a JHS student in Ghana? Are you a wordsmith with a passion for development? Do you have a way with words that captivates and inspires? If so, then join the Literacy Challenge 2024 now. The nationwide search for the most outstanding junior high school students in Ghana is on. Do you think that it could be you who goes home with 10,000 1,000 Ghana cedis and a glitzy trophy? Then, in not less than 600 words, write about the role of the youth in shaping the future of Ghana. What changes would you like to see? And how can young people contribute to making them happen? Script must be in your own handwriting. Script must be endorsed by a parent or guardian. Add your full contact details. Deadline, Saturday the 13th of July, 2024. Submit entries to the front desk of Channel 1 TV or Citi FM. Or send it to P.O. Box GP 14123 across Central. For inquiries, call 0205 973 973. The Literacy Challenge 2024 is powered by 97.3 Citi FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and is sponsored by Ghana National Gas Company, Alive Soap, Fortune Spread, and Ruby Biscuits by M4 Foods.
We not say problem day, but you for chop life. Simply deposit cash in multiples of 500 Ghana cedis into your EcoBank account at your nearest branch, Express Point, or through EcoBank Mobile to win your share of over 1 million cedis in prizes in the EcoBank Million Gang promo, EMG. Be one of over 7,000 people to be rewarded. Hey, my God. Yes, so over 7,000 people go chop soft life from May to July 31, 2024. Be an EcoBank customer or be square. Remember, every 500 Ghana cedi deposit earns you a point for the EcoBank Million Gang today. EMG. Deposit today and win your share of 1.2 million in cash and prizes. A better way to enjoy life. A better way. A better Africa. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
ShopRite's Toys promotion is now on. Take your pick of the best toy selections with our lowest prices. Get great deals on a wide range of toys like an MX Racer Ride-On for a low $249.99 or 21 centimeter soft animals, all variants for a low $79.99 each. This amazing toys promotion offers valid until 16 June 2024. Only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust. Always.
Walambo! Hey, Walambo! Hey, I asked him to buy me original politics.
Hey, please don't make mistake. Talk to Papa. Open the back man. And you politics no girl. You Papa.
Papa, can ruffle.
The politics is original. The first and the best.
What is? Who got also for the acrobat to use it?
Politics, yes.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Criticizing another country, but you know, sometimes you need to learn from the best. And Nathan, I told you he was in Japan for a few days, 10 days, and he's back, and he's telling us what he saw. And all of us are guilty because even the 9 rules that he saw in that
where are you hiding?
Building.
Yes.
I can tell you that I don't obey probably 70%. You know, so we will all do better with the way we live and organize ourselves. And then we'll ask, how can we replicate some of that here? Because look, every society that advances learns from the best. All right, so it's not like you can die in your socks. There are things you do that you have to change, and there are things you do that you have to improve. All right, now let's go to Germany. VW is a German.
Oh, yes.
But this one is made in Ghana.
They are assembled in Ghana. It's the T1 all-space trend line. It's possibly the most affordable 4x4 on the market. And if you are buying that, then you are saving 30,000 cedis. So call or send a WhatsApp message to VW Ghana on 025-795-6688 for more info. Take advantage now. Hurry while stocks last. T's and C's apply. Drive Ghana, drive Volkswagen. And water is important to you. We all need water when you are thirsty. You need it for your bodily functions. You can get great water with Standard Water. Call 0202055703 or 0547-334-385. Standard Water, me feel you.
Okay.
So let's do absurd. Did you know that 259 stories are born every minute? Yes, 259 unique stories that matter, including yours. And every experience you have helps to shape your stories into exciting adventures. Your story can shape the world, and it is powerful. Whether you're an individual, family, or business, no story too big or too small. We are inspired by them all. Your story has just begun. We invite you to write yours with us. Your story matters. ABSA. Now, seeking advanced medical treatment abroad doesn't have to be stressful and overly expensive. Let Nexus Global Services Limited lead you to over 100 top hospitals and doctors in Turkey to experience high quality care at unbeatable prices. Whether it's your knee replacement, kidney transplant, obesity surgery, cancer treatment, or any other medical concern, Nexus Global Services Limited will make your journey smooth and your wallet happy with budget-friendly options. We offer free consultation via visa assistance, air ambulance services, among others. Locate our office at Chris Port Hospital in Dome Paraku, or visit us www.nexusgsl.com. Call us on 0539 659 259 to begin your healing journey today. If you cannot go to Japan, you can be in Def Traco's Woodlands. It's the closest you get. It's a master plan gated city in Dowenya. It's just a minute's drive from Central University. We have 592-acre landscape services. We offer you service plots, homes in self-sustaining communities, well-planned roads, utilities, top-of-the-line security systems, and fire and police station. Now, as part of our commitment to provide great value for our investors, each land purchase comes with a free architectural plan and bill of quantities. We are promising more than a home. We offer you a fulfilling lifestyle away from the bustle while maintaining an urban feel. So acquire a litigation-free land today. Call us on 0208 732 302. Visit www.woodlands.deftracogroup.com for more information.
All right, so what can we do? Let me just repeat the 9, and hopefully we can apply some to our lives. And if all listeners of the show who say they agree with us practice this every day at home and at work, we can start changing Ghana. As I always say, nobody is coming from anywhere to save you. We have to start the change process ourselves. So I'm going to print this. I'll put it on my, I'll localize it, put it on my
should be in the house,
my living room for the kids, and I'll say to them, number 1, put your rubbish in the bin. And I can even, it's funny, I can actually tweak it to my home. So for example, put your rubbish in the bin, put your rubbish in the bin. Be mindful when taking pictures. Respect other people's private spaces. Okay. Keep your voice down. We already try and implement that. But that one, I always tell the adults in my house that you don't tell children not to shout. You decide not to shout. Because when you shout, they also shout. Because children learn by imitation. So as for children, if every day, hey, they will shout. So if they even do something, you can be even tempered, even if you're angry to shout. So the shouting matter there is by example. Number 4, please stand in line. It means wait for your turn.
Yeah.
Number 5, no outside food or drinks. So when you are going to a place, respect the rules there.
Yes.
And then be considerate. Okay, don't bring foreign material. Keep the toilet clean. That one is very important. Then take off your shoes. I like that, Sky. You do that. I remember when I came to your house, you got all your kids to put their shoes outside. I think I'll implement that. We do put the shoes down, but they wear socks around. It's fine, right? Cool.
That's fine.
No tipping required. Financial integrity.
Sorry.
No tipping required. So we don't need your money. So being able to say no to a tip. So there are many people who will not offer. So this is the thing. There are many people who will not ask for money. but when they are giving, they'll take. But these guys will return the tip, which is funny because when I was in Florida, in U.S. Tampa Bay, they actually encouraged us to tip because they said that in that place, a lot of people are not that well paid, and therefore it was a high-end restaurant. They said tipping is when they serve you tip them. Tipping is what helps them. So usually maybe it's $35, you make it $36, and then they take the one. So in the U.S., in some places, tipping is quite respected. But I like the Japanese one. And then number 9, treat culture as sex with respect.
Yes.
Okay. Now the question is, when you come to Accra, is there an Accra tour? That's the first question. So I want to encourage. We can all start from somewhere. I want to encourage the tourist development people in Accra to come up with some things about Accra. Put it at the airport. If you come to Accra, what are you supposed to do? How do we live? By the way, all these things that they are telling you to do are things they themselves they do. So it's not like they are telling you they don't do it. So baby, we need to think about what we do. If somebody comes to Accra to visit us or enters Cape Coast, what are the things that we advise the person to do or not to do based on the way we ourselves will live? So if there's no structure or order to how we live, how can we ask other people to do it? Why do people from outside come and violate our country? It's because we ourselves, we don't respect the country. You see, so it's not a question of writing a list. Do we respect our environment? You said when it was raining today, all the gutters were emptied onto the main road. That tells you that we ourselves, we don't respect the environment. And you see, you made a very important point. You said all of this is based on respect and honor. It's disrespect for nature, disrespect for other people's privacy, disrespect for rules, which is what is making us poor. So Ghanaians, let's not romanticize and say, oh, we do. And by the way, we can travel. Our leaders travel. Traveling in an office doesn't change anything if you are not prepared to implement change. Change is difficult.
How do we reset the software? Or
every morning repeat it. For example, these 9 rules, I'm going to do it in my house. Every day, let's remind people. And then it should also be the guiding principle of the way you live. Because you see, excellence is not a set of rules. Excellence is living by a certain ethos. That drives you. Because it's not about, because there are a million things you do. You can't have rules for everything. You get it? But he's saying that the base is the value. So if respect is there, okay, you can't say don't take Richard Sky's water when he puts it on the table for 2 hours. You run into too many problems. But if you respect and then you are truthful, the water is not yours. Why are you taking it? So the principle and the value underlies the action. So you don't write. In fact, if you even take scripture, giving people a set of rules doesn't change them. What you do is try and change them from inside out. Because if you give a set of rules, how many thou shalt not can you tell us? Because there are so many offenses. I mean, look at Ghana laws. There was a day in Sankuma's representation. There were so many laws we all violate we don't even know. Because apparently they are in our law books, but we forgot it. Yeah. So I always say that Ghana, we like writing laws as if the law will change society. If you don't respect the law, it will help you. It is in respect of the law. I mean, Ghana policemen violate law. They drive against traffic. How can a society advance when the person who's supposed to uphold the law is breaking it? So the software has to be reset. And I think we have an opportunity. We have good media. Media should become the vehicle for social change, not a platform for political fight alone and argument. Yes, we are a democracy, people can vote. But seriously, all of these 9 things I've said, which right thing in Ghana will tell you that it's not correct? If you go to a Wacheki and there's a queue, won't you be happy? If you go to the ATM, if you go to a toilet and public police and it's clean, won't you be happy? So we all know what we want, but we don't want to do the hard work to do it because we are selfish and lazy. Do you get it? So what is fighting us is that we ourselves, we don't think about the future. We think about ourselves. Let me make enough money for myself. Let me be comfortable for myself. Then I can think about how society will advance. Read the comments. Everybody's telling you that they agree. But how come we are not living by what we claim we agree to?
That's right. So
there's nobody who's texted today to say they disagree with what the internet said. How come we don't live by it? Agreeing with something is not enough. Discipline yourself to live by it is actually the true test.
Yep.
So I'm not saying don't text me that you agree with me. But how will you apply this to your life? And don't say that even if you do it, it will not make a difference. It will make a difference. If you do it in your house and I do it in my company and you do it in your car, we will change Ghana.
Yep. So Elizabeth Abransafueje says that, good morning, my people. Nathan is really sharing a true experience from Japan. Those who smoke in public spaces have dedicated spaces for them to do so. There are booths for smoking and they queue for that. Japan is a dream.
They queue to smoke?
Yes.
Wow.
Japan,
they have designated smoking space.
Wait for your time to go and smoke.
Hey.
Japan is a reality. So we have John Adama sending this one in. It says, I have been to Japan twice and I've been to both Tokyo and Osaka. Nathan is right. It boils down to discipline. The people have built their cities and maintained the same through the enforcement of discipline. They don't litter, and the place is so neat. And then you also have Selassie Ajolulu, who is talking about, for instance, he says that in 2001 he was in Japan and they were already using paperless toilets. You go to the toilet and you press a button and it cleans yourself up. You don't use T-roll. Water comes out like a spring to clean the place.
That's too intimate and expensive. It's okay. The details are too many.
Bernard, let me bring you some other comments.
Okay, go on.
Permit me to add to this discussion going on. It's so sad. I'm an army officer currently serving on peacekeeping mission in a war-torn area in Africa. I've had the unfortunate privilege of serving in other war-torn countries in Africa. I can tell you for a fact that these countries are far ahead of us. Yesterday, for instance, it rained heavily here and there was no flood. I spent some days recently in Rwanda and you'll be amazed at the extent of development and cleanliness. For a moment, the description being given about Japan, for a moment, I thought Nathan was talking about Rwanda. Extreme order and cleanliness. No polybags are allowed in that country. Everything is paper-based. The market spaces were even clean. This is a country that came out of conflict only 30 years ago. I can go on and on and on and on. A word to the wise. Sorry, I can't give my name and other. Sure, that's fine. Hello, Bernard.
Hello.
Charlie. Come see goosebumps all over my body. Isaac Brown from Awoshi. Please share these Japanese ethics with us. Sure. Look at how they came to the World Cup and after every match they were cleaning the stadium. This was environmental cleaning against the world. When flying to Ghana, you look outside the window, you can see the disorder glaring at you right from the skies. Japanese are just disciplined. Even the World Cup, the areas they sat were always clean.
Yeah.
Hello, Citi FM. Please, Nathan, what you say in Japan.
Or what you sit on, tatami.
Okay, what you sit on in Japan is called tatami.
Like
typical
cushion.
Japanese man.
Tashi.
Okay, Tokyo is the cleanest city in the world. The Kansai airport was built in the sea in Japan. That's how advanced they are. Bernard, our leaders travel. Some schooled abroad. Some even have citizenship outside. What plans or policies have they learned and tailored to our situation? How will citizens change without policies and better leadership? There is no leadership in Ghana. Patrice from East Airport. Bernard, I'm listening to you and I'm already stressed because Ghana is so disorganized. I love Ghana, but our leaders have messed up the country and made it a difficult place to live. Robert from the UK sent that. Bernard, a friend who teaches in Japan told me that there is a department of future learning in the education ministry that makes sure that what kids learn in school doesn't become useless when they are ready for employment. David from Agbliza. Dear CBS, I was listening to Nathan's narrative of what he saw in Japan. He couldn't have said it better. Japan is a highly ordered society. I lived in Tokyo for many years in the early 2000s. This is from Jonathan. Good morning, Bernard.
Morning.
Nathan is speaking the truth. I have a former colleague in Japan and she's living life there. I see her post about how clean the environment is. Boy.
Bro, the people drink tap water.
God. There's no galam say that.
So we asked, they
drink tap water.
They said, water is clean. You can drink it. Tasteless, odorless. It's tasteless and it's odorless.
So you know what's happening? There's a breakdown of trust in Ghana and in African countries that don't do well. You know, a friend of mine says, Bernard, Francis Fukuyama has a book called Trust. He contrasts high trust societies like Japan and Germany, which enables private society to cooperate and build both beneficial social norms and large businesses, to low trust societies like China and France, where government intervention is required to guarantee trust in any cooperation. In our part of the world, both trust and the government intermediation that will help our absent. You see how it works? So you need trust and government intermediation. Let's listen to one or two people interview. Who did you talk to?
Okay, so in this particular one, I suppose a number of people. In this particular, I spoke to
Japan interview.
Yes. So in this particular, I spoke to 2 Ghanaian students in Japan. They are studying. They are learning for their PhDs.
Let's hear from them.
Two women in Japan. Yes.
Hi, my name is Anna. Yeah.
Okay. And you are?
I'm Abigail.
Abigail, great. So how long have the two of you been in Japan?
Okay, so I've been in Japan since October 2022, so that's almost 2 years now.
Okay.
And now I've been here almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years. Wow. So I can say you are kind of integrated.
No, really.
I see. But what have been your own, or what is your impression of living in Tokyo? I'm assuming you live in Tokyo, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what are your impressions of living in Tokyo if you compare it to Accra and all of that? What have you, in the 3 years you've been here, what are the things that have struck you so far?
Okay, it's their technological advancement and innovation and the way they do things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, their time consciousness, their honesty,
Wow, they are honest people.
Yes, most of them are very honest, and you don't see the vices you see in most of the cities in Ghana, so they're honest.
I see. What about you? What have been your own impressions of Japan and Tokyo since October 2022?
Okay, so I think Tokyo is very busy, and it's quite difficult to make friends, like Japanese friends.
Why?
Maybe because of the language barrier. And we also find ourselves in a community where there are quite a number of Ghanaians and other Africans. So
you gravitate towards your own people.
Yes. I think being in Tokyo, it's been fun. Like Abigail said, you get to meet some very nice people and also not so nice people. So, because I remember when we came, we got people, we don't have internet and you are missing, and someone is like, oh, I know, where are you going to? I speak English. Mm-hmm. You get people approach you and they actually take you to where you are going to, which I've never seen back home in Ghana. So I was very impressed with that. There are also some not good sides, because I've asked people for direction, or people have just looked at me in the train, like eyed me or stuff like that, like giving me evil eyes. So it's just but I think they're good outweighs the bad.
I see. So you've been here everybody has been here for, let's say, over 2 years. Have you picked up the language? Can you say a few things in Japanese?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn. So I have some few words I know, but the struggle, having to take the accent and put the.
What about the writing?
Writing, no. Not possible unless you are committed to it alone. But because of other stuff, if you're not committed to it, then you need more years. It's very difficult.
I see. If somebody were to come to Tokyo for the first time, which places would you say they should go and see, or what would you tell them to go and see, or what would you tell them to experience to say that, yes, I've come to Tokyo, I've come to Japan?
Wow, I'm not sure if we are the best people to answer because we hardly go out, but I think there are many nice places in Tokyo, and there are also some neighboring cities around Tokyo, so you can maybe do a day trip. Okay. So in Tokyo, there's Disneyland and Disney Sea. Which
have you been there?
Disney Sea. Yeah.
How was it?
It was amazing. Of course, like kind of out of the world.
We don't have something like that in Ghana.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I see. Just finally, how is it like being a Ghanaian student in this environment? They don't speak a drop of English officially. How is it like being here, and how have you been coping in terms of the studies? I don't know whether you take part of your studies in English or Japanese, all of that. Just share your experiences with me.
Okay, so my school is purely English, so I don't deal with any Japanese. But when we came, my school was 2 months, which was quite short. So for us, I think we don't really need to engage with people. So I have been to some parts outside Tokyo. Maybe outside Tokyo you need more Japanese than maybe inside Tokyo. I think, yeah.
And what about you?
Yeah, like similar. I think that I'm also with English instruction school, so we don't normally need to learn before you can study. But to interact with people, you need that, the language needs to be. Otherwise,
konnichiwa.
Yeah. Also, you can't interact with people, and the fact is that, like she said, in Tokyo we have some friendly, English-speaking people. There are more, but if you go outskirts, you need a Japanese language. But yeah, so you're not able to make a lot of friends. Yeah, no Japanese people friends. They will not approach you. One thing to them, they don't really approach to kind of talk because they are also shy and they are afraid they can't speak the English. So when they see foreigners, they think they will be embarrassed. So they don't really approach foreigners like that. Yeah, so I think, the country is still now integrating the English language, and they need more work to do with that because even when they learn the English in school, to speak it is also another problem. So
it's not an environment where English is spoken. Just finally, my last question before we wrap this interview up. If after school you are given the opportunity to live in Japan, would you take it?
I think I would, but maybe not permanently.
Maybe not permanently.
Yes.
Okay.
Japan is a good country, very safe, but I'm not sure of my Japanese skills. And some companies will say, oh, no Japanese. But the moment you enter, they expect you to have some Japanese skills. So, yeah.
And you?
Yeah, okay. So it's a nice place. I would love to live. But because of the language, like she said, if you're able to learn the language, then fine. But not permanently. Yes, you need to also, like, we are more like exploring. So we explore the world and then we look for higher heights. So we will move to new areas that will be comfortable, like with the English language. So that, but it's not a bad country at all. It's safe to live in here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
So these were PhD students?
Yes, Ghanaians who are in Japan.
Studying.
Which university? But one is studying education, the other economics.
Wow.
They study law there.
I'm sure because strangely enough, one morning I was the TV was on. Obviously, it was in Japanese, and I turned on my Google Translate and I was translating the text on the TV. Do you know they were discussing shortening legal processes in the courts, the pre-trial. They were discussing shortening the process so that cases are run through quicker in court. It looks like it's a bit of a challenge there. I said, hey, wow.
In the Far East, Japan, China, they currently are piloting processes that use robots to determine cases. So for instance, these are ticketing issues that you have.
Robots to determine cases.
So
let's just get the streets clear first.
You feed in the details and then judgment is decided.
A few more comments coming in that I would share with you. Later on, I'll be speaking to the government statistician on the latest inflation figures. Very interesting text. Like somebody, I'm listening to Nathan talk about Japan, and I'm here at the tunnel under the motorway, struggling to enter a tunnel initially made for cattle.
Yes.
And there's even no order in how we enter.
We have repurposed it.
So he said, I just feel sad listening.
Please read the comment.
And that something I will say is there's an appreciation of their circumstance, their surrounding, and what God gave them and what they've tried to use those things to do. Here's what I mean. I asked somebody, why does Japan use nuclear energy? And the context of my question was that during the Second World War, you guys got wasted, if you like. 2 atomic bombs were dropped on your country.
Fortunate development.
Yes. So why is it that you are using the same technology? This is what the person told me. He said, look around us. We're a very mountainous country. Nature gave us earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, those things. And we realized that as a country, we wanted to industrialize. And the amount of energy and power we needed to build all these industries could not have come from any other source than nuclear. And we are doing it because it does two things for us. It gives us food security. It gives us energy security. It's the biggest headache we have as a country, food security and energy security. And once we find something that solves those two riddles, we'll stick with it and we'll make the most of it.
Wow. So we are in the same world, though, but some people are ahead of others.
Yes. Not with the resources that we have been blessed. They don't have anything. It's an island in the Far East. What they have,
we have
earthquakes.
We have gold, and we are destroying the environment too. We've polluted all our water basins because of Galamsey, and they say election is coming. Cocoa production is low. I don't think we are ready for the future. We are not serious.
The last time I told you when we were driving to Tessa, no?
Not what?
That's only.
But I used to be as positive as you have been. I was always hopeful that it will happen in my lifetime, but
at least you can make it better for your kids.
Yes, you know.
Because if you give up and I'll say that, well, since it's no good,
but the point is that when they step out into the chaos, right? So that's why I insist that if all of us in our little spaces are trying, perhaps we'll get there. Perhaps it could happen in our lifetime. Let's take some more comments that have come in this morning. So, all
right. Let me help you. This one says, try buying cocoa in a simple jeans and t-shirt, and another man stops in front of the cocoa seller driving a Honda Civic.
They will stop him.
The cocoa seller will decide on her own to serve the guy driving, and if you protest, you rather look bad. Yeah. This one says, cleanliness has to be internalized. The lady who cleans my house, after sweeping each day, asks me for drinking water. After drinking the water, she drops the empty bottle on the ground exactly where she just finished sweeping. Bukati New Ningo sent that. This one says, Nathan, you want me to talk about how organized the bus? Of course, the bus is organized. Osaka to Suruga. How clean and organized the bus station is. It says, even Akihabara, which is arguably the world's biggest electronic gadgets market, is organized. Organized. Very organized. It says, this one says, I trust that you are doing well. In Japan, all workplaces practice what they refer to as the 5 S's. It's a way of keeping order. It's part of TPM, Total Performance Management. But now the only leader that can create that order society is someone who doesn't care about a second term. Because to do this, you need to take a drastic punitive step. It says using the security forces. People hate the leader for this. If you leave this to the normal Ghanaian, this won't work. Scatter and Kofredia. This one says, Bernard, the interesting aspect of Japanese ethic is that even undisciplined Ghanaians will obey the laws when they find themselves in Japan, even more so than the Japanese themselves.
8:43. We'll come back to Japan shortly. One of the things that we discussed this morning was inflation, and Mrs. Sky was a bit upset that our colleagues in the media did not give a balanced report of the inflation figure, because whilst year-on-year inflation had reduced from 25 to 23%, month-on-month inflation or monthly inflation had increased. And Sky was a bit angry that the journalists were just focusing on one. And I explained that those two figures mean different things. Luckily, we have the government statistician, Professor Samuel Enim, to explain to us what's going on with inflation and how we should interpret the numbers. Prof, thanks so much for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard, and thank you for the platform.
So you released the latest CPI figures, and I think for us in the media, the two takeaways was the reduction in year-on-year inflation from around 25 to 23. But also from a news perspective, the monthly inflation had reached a 10-month high. But it appears all of us in the media focus more on the reduction in the year-on-year than in the fact that the inflation for the month of 3.2 was the highest since July. Is it our fault, or is it the way you did the press conference? And is it even important for us to be discussing the two numbers?
That's an interesting question, whether it's the fault of the media or it's mine. But whatever it is, I'm happy there's another opportunity for us to discuss it further. And we always emphasize the need to look at the disaggregate, and also based on the disaggregate to try and get a sense of the drivers of inflation. So if you don't mind, I can throw about 5 minutes highlight on that.
Yes.
Yes. So from the perspective of the aggregate, you are right, year-on-year inflation went down by 1.9 percentage points, precisely from 25.0 to 23.1. And month-on-month inflation went up by 1.4 percentage points, and as you rightly said, putting it at 3.2, which is the high. Keep in mind that in April we're at 1.8. Then what makes the conversation important is from both perspectives we have to think through the drivers. The year-on-year inflation, as we've always talked about, is calculated on what is happening currently vis-a-vis what happened same time May 2023. The influence on May 2023 is always significant because it is the current year CPI minus the previous year CPI, in this case 2023 May CPI, divided by May 2023 CPI. So the previous year CPI goes into the numerator and the denominator as well. What happened last year was that between April and May 2023, we saw the highest change in CPI, which was 8.1 points. In April 2023, we had a CPI of 170.6, and then in May 2023, it was 178.7, culminating in the 8.1 points that I talked about. This is what is going to go into your denominator, and once this is huge, it would bring down the rate of inflation. On the side of month-on-month inflation, which has gone up by 1.4 percentage points, as I indicated, if you look at the 13 divisions that we use in the computation of CPI and rate of inflation, only 2 of the divisions had rate of inflation higher than the overall national rate of inflation of 3.2. And significance of it was transport, which saw a month-on-month rate of inflation of 10.6%. This is what we want all of us to avert our minds to, because transport influences most of the other items in the CPI basket. So if on a month-on-month basis, we are seeing a 10.6 monthly inflation for transport, then going forward, one should be concerned in terms of the potential transmission mechanism that would run through transport to the other items that we have in the basket.
Which is why the weight you will give transport will be strong, because it affects others. So that's a very important point. Now, the other points, when you say base effect, that's what you explained for the year on year. So which of the two numbers is more important for decision making then? Because I recognize that globally, when inflation is referred to, is the year on year that usually people announce. But it appears to me that the month on month is a more accurate reflection of people's reality, because like this week we've been discussing food prices, and tomato prices have increased quite significantly. And when I look at your month-on-month inflation for the subclasses of food, correctly, vegetables, tubers, plantain, cooking, bananas and pulses have the highest. So can we say that maybe year on year is good for certain kinds of analysis, and then monthly is good for other kinds? Just let's talk a bit about the usefulness of the two.
Bernard, again, thank you very much, because I always take advantage of this and distinguish between what I call statistical output and statistical input. And what that simply means is that the year-on-year inflation is for reporting purposes relative to what happened last year. It doesn't really help with decision making. It tells you where you have gotten to at any point in time. But if you really want to tweak policies and understand what is happening currently, it's the month-on-month inflation that you need to keep an eye on, and at any point in time ensure that it's steadily going down. Unfortunately, our month-on-month inflation historically has been very volatile, which simply means that in current terms, whatever policies that we are putting in, we are not able to sustain it, so that for, let's say, a 6-month consecutive period, a 12-month consecutive period, we can say that steadily we are bringing down our month-on-month inflation. So the question is not which one is important, but it depends on what you want to use the statistics for. If you just want to go out there and say that I'm doing well, you go ahead and use your year-on-year. But if you really want to tweak policy and understand what is happening in terms of the outcomes of policies, then it's your month-on-month inflation that you need to look at. Because as you rightly said, it tells you what happens now and the previous month, what happens now and the 2 previous months. So in real time, you are able to understand which policies are influencing what. But within the year, it's a basket of different things, different policies, different shocks, different behavioral issues, and it's difficult to really say that this is what is influencing the year-on-year inflation.
That's very interesting, because when the Bank of Ghana MPC announced their policy rate, in fact, their inflation target, the so-called plus or minus 8, is usually year-on-year. But from the explanation you've given and from looking carefully at the numbers, it may make sense to revisit the assumptions behind using year-on-year for inflation targeting, because if your policy rate is supposed to point to expectations, it will appear to me as though the monthly inflation may be more useful. I don't know if that conversation has been had at all, and whether the Statistical Service and the Bank of Ghana have deliberations around the usefulness of the 2 measures for the inflation targeting framework. Because for a long time, the interest rates have been set higher than inflation, and some people think it actually just worsens the situation. So maybe we should be having a discussion with your friends at the BOG too about which of the numbers to use in their inflation targeting. Don't you think so?
I mean, I'm not going to delve into the details of it. Again, let me give some highlights around this conversation. We should have a platform to really talk about this issue of inflation targeting. It is not within my space as government statistician to do that, but from an economist point of view, I'll say that that conversation should be held, and wherever we have the inflation targeting can come up at another time. The second broad comment is that using monthly inflation, as I indicated, because it's so volatile for us as a country and a number of developing countries, we move away from the month-on-month just because of the volatility. But you are absolutely right. If we really want to address it and see its impact, we cannot say that we are not looking at the month-on-month inflation. So at the minimum, what my proposal is that if we really want to do inflation targeting, and as I said, it's a conversation that we need to have at another point, we need to look at both month-on-month inflation and year-on-year inflation. And I keep saying this, that we don't have to look at things only from a monetary policy perspective. From the real sector perspective, now that we are talking about transport, now that we are talking about food inflation, we also need to look at our targeting from the real sector as well. It is about time we complement real sector interventions with monetary policy interventions if we want to drive down inflation.
Finally, you explained the transportation effect on monthly inflation, and that was a good explanation we accept. 2 surprises for me: that non-food generally is higher than food inflation, because I tend to hear more complaints about food on air than about non-food. And number 2, I also noticed that inflation for locally produced items is higher than for imported items, which also is a surprise for me, because this has also been a period of high depreciation. And I'm suspecting that imported items would obviously, because of the currency depreciation, be more expensive. So could it be that because this imported versus local is year on year, we have to go back to the base effect in that as well? Because I was thinking that imported inflation would be higher than locally produced. So that was a surprise for me. And also I was thinking that food inflation would be higher than non-food. But maybe my assumptions were wrong. Any comment?
I mean, if you look at the trends, you are right. Traditionally, we've had food inflation being higher than non-food inflation. But again, let's look at this from the 2 perspectives that we started the conversation with earlier on. On a month-on-month basis, we saw a 0.9 percentage point difference between food and non-food inflation, with food inflation 2.7, non-food inflation 3.6. Keeping in mind that transport, which had the highest month-on-month inflation of 10.6%, is a component of non-food inflation. So clearly the driver for the non-food inflation month-on-month 3.6 was as a result of transport. The other component that had a month-on-month inflation higher than the overall month-on-month inflation of 3.2 was education services, which is also non-food inflation with 5.5 month-on-month inflation. consistently in the last 6 months, we have seen a steady decline in the share of food inflation to overall inflation. We've hovered around 52.6% towards the end of 2023, and now we are doing 41.5% as a share of food to overall food inflation. It's a basket of arguments that might come in at this point in time. One, for the fact that the non-food side is increasing, and two, for the fact that around this time of the year, we gradually see a decline in food inflation. I'm happy in your earlier submission, you moved from that aggregate food and touched on things like tomatoes and yam. You touched on tomatoes. So that story, we know we have production challenges with it. But a commodity like yam in the past 20 months keeps moving in and out of the list of top 20 items that record the highest price change. And this time round, it found its way in there with a weight of 1.6 indices and recording a price change of 37.4. It moved out of the top 20 to the 53rd position in April, and now has come back to the 18th position with a price change of 37.4 and a weight of 1.6. So it is always in the disaggregate that you better understand what is happening. So if we want to talk about food coming down, we lose sight of the fact that some important items within the food component are seeing increases over the period of time. In terms of locally produced items and imported items, as I said earlier on, we saw a 5.1 percentage point difference. And this is because locally produced items had an inflation of 24.7 and imported items 19.6. This is consistent with what we've been seeing in the past. Anytime we are presenting this, we say to the public that we need to be careful because there are some commodities that their inputs are imported, which would end up as locally produced because it goes through further processing and then we capture it as a locally produced item. So this is one of the classifications that mutual exclusiveness does not occur because of the way I've explained it. So one would always have to be careful saying that this particular thing is being driven by, imported inflation is being driven by this particular variable because of that. Especially when you don't look at the items within within locally produced items and the items within imported items. To really say a case that this is purely imported and this is purely locally produced.
That's fair enough, because obviously even some locally produced items have foreign components. So it's a very nuanced discussion, but we appreciate it. And I also want to point out that, I don't know this is the first time, but when you finish the presentation, there's an addendum which has the base effect explanation. And I thought that, do you always do that, or you needed to add this because you wanted to avoid misunderstanding of the figures?
We don't do that. And as you rightly said, we do it occasionally so that when people ask the question, what is the base effect, they have some historical understanding based on these technical sessions. The reason why we don't do that is, and even yesterday, we did this after the press release because we didn't want people to go out and give different numbers for inflation on scenarios that are not the reality. It's just for explanatory purposes, and that is why we don't add it to it.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your work. That's Professor Samuel Enim, government statistician. Always a pleasure talking to him. 8:59 Citi Breakfast Show live here in Accra. Started off talking about Japan, but also driving home some very important truths about inflation. So, guys, the discussions around tomatoes are actually captured in the inflation figure. Yeah. The monthly inflation, vegetables had the highest inflation of 9.1. The second highest was fruits and nuts, 4.7. And this is monthly inflation, which are much, much higher than the average monthly inflation of 3.2. So vegetables, tubers, plantain, cooking, bananas, and pulses had a month-to-month inflation of 9.1%. So this month compared to last month, or May compared to April, almost 10% increase in the price of these items for the month. All right, fruits and nuts 4.3. The third highest in that list was 1.5, which is fruits and vegetable juices. So the discussion you had yesterday is real. What we're seeing in monthly inflation reflects that. Yes. And it's very important. So whilst the report was that inflation has come down, the reason inflation has come down was for the base effect. And that inflation that has come down it's not an indication that prices are not going up. It's just a comparison to the base year, which was the 2023. So it's 9 o'clock. But we're still on what we can learn from Japan. I wanted to know if there was an update on the blocked road. Because what led to all of this discussion? It's been raining for a few minutes. Gutters emptying themselves onto the streets, floods here and there. And then on the Kiseman to Domi Road, some people had blocked the road because they said they were angry some bridge had not been built, so much traffic everywhere, and we're all talking about the chaos and whether we can live in a better society. Nathan comes from Japan and travels from, is it Shangui or what's another place? Suruga to Tokyo.
So I got in Osaka.
572 kilometers. That's going to Kumasi and back. And he did it in 3 hours on the bullet train. These people are human beings like us. They have the same blood flowing through them. Why are they doing better than we are? Why doesn't that worry us? Why are we comfortable in our mediocrity? Why are we comfortable in our, healthcare, life expectancy? They are in the 80s. We are here, people die by 50 something. Life expectancy is lower. Healthcare, lifestyle diseases, bad air we breathe. They are an industrial society, right? But, so what's happening? Too much noise. Gutters choke, eat healthy. What is going on? Why can't we do better? Corruption, inequality. We need to do better for ourselves. Our societies we are not competitive. We are not adding value. All our exports are raw materials. We mentioned all the companies, Hitachi, Toshiba, Panasonic. Everything we use in this studio was not made in Ghana. Shure mic is not a Ghana thing. This console is not from Ghana. The Apple device is not from Ghana. Even this book was printed abroad. The camera was a brand, Sony, Japan. Even this thing they used to paste on the wall is imported from China. The only thing made here is the door, Interplast. Even that they probably imported the glass. I'm not sure. I don't know. The only things made in Ghana are things we are wearing. Me and Sky, we decided to wear Ghana. Wear Ghana shoes, horseman shoes. Wear Ghana belt and wear Ghana shirt. We need to do better. We need to wake up. There are points. Some of these countries that are doing well, they had very difficult times. Japan, World War, Rwanda, genocide, South Korea, military brutality. We had a few coups. I'm not saying we did those things, but Charlie, we must also see. You see, Sky, if you don't tell yourself you deserve better, you cannot be better. It's like a woman in a bad marriage. It's like, I deserve better than this crap. If she says, oh, it's okay, it's like, oh, it's normal. No, it's not normal for a man to be slapping you every day. It's not. Do you get it? But if you tell yourself it's normal, you will live in it. So I say, we are married, husbands don't slap us every day. So if you think it's normal, you enjoy it. So we have to get up and say, no, it's not normal for a 2-hour rain to expose choked gutters. It's not normal for us to always, life expectancy is below 65. It's not normal that the whole society, even the city smells, that cows are walking everywhere. It can't be normal. It's abnormal.
Just because some... Jesus.
It's not correct. Why don't they do Salah in other countries? When you go to what do you call it? Côte d'Ivoire, don't they also do Salah? So why are we having cows? The cows walking in town are doing Salah. They've been walking in town since January. It's not a Salah matter. We are just not serious. And you see, Nathan said something about the prefecture and the look. I am saying that, fine, you can wake up one day and the Messiah will appear, but that's 1 in a million who will come and do all the nice things. The most important thing is that let's get proper people in local government.
Yes.
And let's use media to do development, governance and that kind of thing. So fine. I don't even think a particular system is best because, for example, in the US, they are very divisive political landscape, right? The Democrats and Republicans are like NDC and PP.
Yeah.
If you go to UK and Germany, sometimes they have coalitions. You go to Japan, it's a different system. Different systems can be used to bring development. But at the base of it is the mindset, the culture, the software. So our challenge is not whether we are voting and those things. It's like, oh, democracy. It's not democracy. In the 80s when Rollins was there, was Ghana and other society. It was not. It was still the same. When it rained, when's the flooding? You get it? So I don't want us to bastardize democracy to make it the cause of our problems. It's the way the human beings think.
That's it.
That's the issue. So you can bring democracy, you can bring military rule. If you don't think properly, you cannot live. You know, because sometimes we obfuscate the arguments into these things around we need a dictator and all this stuff. No.
It's how we think.
Yeah, and the way we are organized, our media can play a role. Unfortunately, we are not helping because we are basically parroting the crap. We are not using the media to really ask the right questions. We are doing a lot of cut and paste. You know, no critical thinking. You know, the public discourse is not critical. It's not self-critical. The public discourse is not, you know, we don't do comparative discussions. Comparative not just to the past but to other nations and other systems. We are very, very happy in our mediocrity. We go and buy watch and eat. We laugh about Manchester United and Chelsea small. We go to funeral on the weekend and come back to our mess. I mean, how do you drive from Mahama Runabout to Chad Runabout with no street light? Sky, do you know the amount of do you know how much it costs to get a house at Airport Hills? Have you gone to Airport Hills before? Have you gone to Chado before? Do you know how expensive the houses there are? Everybody is building 2 or 3 story building, and the people don't have street lights. How do you spend $1 million to build a gated community in a place with no street lights working? Like, I don't understand. How do you, like, how? And you think it's okay?
No street light.
The gutters, like Nathan, places where, even in Osu.
Oh, yeah.
And Laboni, where you are supposed to be paying a lot of money. Like, how do you have expensive real estate side by side, street lightless streets?
You mentioned the place this morning, and every time I drive there, it scares me, and I'll repeat it. You mentioned Dimples and history. That roundabout. Dimples. When you drive from that point to the Achimota police station traffic
or to Perez Dome at night.
Yes, let's say from the roundabout to the Achimota police station, just that stretch, guys. It is so dark.
Pitch dark.
So dark, and I ask myself, we got a lot of money to construct that highway, $547 million, if my memory serves me correctly. Millennium Challenge is huge.
Guys, you came to shout, the money is big. That's all we did.
In the year 2024, we live in a city. There are no street lights.
And no road markings.
No road markings. Traffic lights are not functioning. So when you set out to drive, it's almost you are driving by the kilometer, if you like.
Is there a Bureau for Public Safety in our country? I'm not talking about the CSO. Is there not? Don't you think there should be a bureau that says, look, what happened to you on the road he was driving at night. I don't think it was a street light. It rained. He parked his car on the side of the road to avoid a flooding situation. Some car come to ram to the back of his car. In fact, how many cars did he hit? Like 3 cars. And it was a hit and run. Or it be hit and run. Hit and run. We couldn't find the guy who did it. There's no street light. He was left to somebody basically wanted to kill him and leave him. You get it? A society that cannot have CCTV to find out who did it, no street light to prevent this from happening. It's a society that really are ready for development. So sometimes, I mean, and I always start with ourselves. This guy, media, and I keep going back to media because guy, it's the opportunity we have.
That's true.
We should stop media, guys. Stop writing propaganda for politicians. Stop it. It's not good. Stop. You see, my mother always tells me something. When you do something, when you are going to sleep, you can sleep in peace. Mm-hmm. Write the truth. You see, stop. Let's stop. Let's not let politicians use us to lie in the name of he's my friend. No. Write the true story. Do the research. One day somebody will pull out the paper and put it on a platform and say 20 years ago this journalist wrote this. That money they'll give you to chop, you finish chopping it. You don't do anything. You see, I'm using media because that's what I understand. We are lucky to have a platform. See, I've come on air since 6 o'clock. We have been talking. If it wasn't for media, how will we know the 9 principles that Nathan just read? Do all of us have to travel to Japan? Mm-mm. So media is good if you use it well. But media can also be evil. Okay, it's like computer. It's like fire. It's value neutral. So if you sit on that radio, stop doing this honorable nonsense. Let them kind of talk anything. No, stop it. Stop it. Nathan just used media to bring Japan to you.
Yeah, powerful.
Put your rubbish in the refuse bin. Keep your voice down. Stand in a queue. Keep our toilets clean. Don't take pictures unnecessarily without people's
standing lines.
Respect
cultural assets.
9. I forget 1 or 2 of them. You see, so the system we have is multi-party democracy. People are voting. Citizens must go beyond voting to be activists. All right, point out things, question, do research. But the basic is that truth. A society that has no value of truth cannot advance. You get if we, and what is truth? That's the everlasting question. The question that Pilate asked Christ was, what is truth? Is that not the question? This guy, we have to pursue truth. The truth is that we are not doing well, particularly compared to our potential. We are fine. GDP is higher than other countries, but that's not what it is. Ghana, when we got independence, we were streets ahead of most African countries. And the truth is that most countries still admire and say, oh, Ghana, such a strong brand.
Yep.
But we are messing things up.
That's why the Ghana brand is strong, because the team I was with, when they asked where I was like, Ghana, Ghana.
There's always a feel good.
Yeah.
But we know they take do nothing. We are not using it to do anything.
Anti-climate.
We are not using it to do anything. Charlie, let's for me, we bring these topics to shock people to say, look, guys, we can do better.
It is possible.
We can do better.
You can understand my shock when I landed.
When I landed, when I got there.
The level of efficiency.
No, I sat down. I told Bernard asked me, Charlie, how is the place? I told Bernard, they have millennia.
Yeah, Charlie, that thing was serious. We did back.
No, it's better. What strikes me is, you see, the software and the way.
And it's as if they've told them every morning what to do. It's almost like they are all thinking the same.
The way of thinking. I'll give you a very interesting example. So I stepped out of my hotel room, and the housekeeping lady was in there. So I went to the next room to take some. When I came back, she was in the room. She was cleaning the bathroom. So I went in to get my things ready. As soon as I came in, she came out of the bathroom. Konnichiwa, then she bowed. Then she said, oh, I'm the house cleaning lady. And I said, oh, go. I said, oh, would you want me to leave whilst you do your things? Or you want me to stay whilst I clean the bathroom? I said, oh, please go ahead and clean the bathroom. I was there for just a couple of hours. I was taking my stuff. I was going out. But it struck me as to how everywhere it was the same. When you enter the shop, as soon as you enter the shop and they recognize you are new, they say, konnichiwa, hello, and they bow. They bow, and they are behind their counter, ready to help. If they are struggling with anything, they quickly rush. Even though they may not speak English, you can gesture and they'll figure things out.
So the question, how did they learn these things? Did they learn it at home or in school? Who taught them?
It must be both.
So you see, was it just the president or prime minister, or there's also a system where, like, it cascades down
everywhere.
That you went to, what's the name of the small town? Gurushi something.
Suruga.
Even Suruga too, they know.
Yeah, that's how you
it's all over.
So Sky, what are we do? Okay, so the question is, what is the marching order for Ghanaians? What marching order do we get? What marching order is the leader? So what signal, when you listen to our president, what is he saying to us? And how are we translating that? How are his ministers carrying out the instruction?
I don't
Did you follow me?
Yeah.
What is leadership? When you look at the parliamentarians, the way they behave, what kind of leadership does that transmit to the rest of us to follow? You get me? I mean, you see leadership. I feel like leadership is not even sensitive to our needs. You are in a serious economic difficulty. Look at the convoy that went to meet. Who did you go and meet recently? You get me? It's almost like we have money and it doesn't matter what you do. There's a whole. Sometimes I feel like a whole generation must perish for another. It's like maybe
research.
Let's sow the seeds for the children to rather come and do it. I don't know. Yeah, because I don't see how, even in the midst of this, look, in the midst of this big economic crisis, sometimes when I hear some of the older people talk, people I'm supposed to respect, some of the things they say,
and the things they prioritize,
it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know what happened.
But
what happened?
When you asked of the marching orders, in 2017, you see during the Independence Day, the president gives speeches. that speech President Akufo-Addo gave, my goodness, he talked about timeliness, showing up on time. No, it was fire. And Bernard, I was doing my national service at the time. I just finished. So when I go for events and some of these ministers, they show up late, we go and interview them. I'm saying, the president said we should be showing up in time. And they are upset. You see, the president was saying one thing, everyone around him was doing something else. So even if you took what he was saying very, very seriously at that time, you realize that a lot of it was setting and plotting. And now when you look at the tone and you listen to what actually also comes out of the very hierarchy, you realize that we have taken our eyes off the ball. That's why a lot of people are disappointed, because when you listen to President Akufo-Addo in his first term, the first 2 years, look, I am a man in hurry. He says we should visit Ghana first. We shouldn't be going abroad. We should keep our cities clean. When you listen to his speeches in the early days of his presidency, goodness, so we felt some sense of fire, some direction.
But you can't feel it now.
Oh, no, man.
I want to ask a question. Nathan and Sky have said that it's honor, respect, and maybe truth, right? Can we suggest values that we believe should bind? Because the point is about the values, right? What values do we think we need to encourage to make us distinct? Because, for example, there are certain countries. I'll give you an example. When we did Citi TV to Channel 1 event, people came, and then I met a German group, the Deutsche Welle team, and then when they came in, we did a program for exactly 30 minutes. So we planned that we'll start at 11, or was it 12? And we finished at 12:30 or something. Like 30 minutes per. So the guy came in for the last 5 minutes and he was like, Charlie, he feels so embarrassed as a German that he came to the event, and by the time he came, we had done 20 minutes. All right. So he was like, oh, Charlie, as a German, he's so embarrassed that he couldn't come early. And I said, oh yeah, because we said we'll do 30 minutes. So I was like, hey, so you can be late. Yeah. Now my point is that in Germany, they believe they are efficient. So everywhere they go, they say it's German efficiency. So they pride themselves to be time conscious and efficient. Japanese pride themselves to be people of honor. I think we need to agree on a value or two. We can't have all the values. For me, it has to be truth. You see, it's difficult, but do you know what? Because truth is not just Nyatefe Gbogbolo. Nutepe as well. So truth is not just, truth is big. It's not just telling the truth. The quest for truth is why you go to school. That's why you do research. All right. So truth is not just in the context of bearing false witness or saying what is true. But truth actually also means that
being true.
So you can look, self-evaluation. You do where are we as a radio show? Are we doing well? Are we true to our stated objectives? Okay. So the society must value it. So it's almost like the mirror is the most important gadget, because when you look at yourself, it tells you your face, the spirit level, it tells you the direction, the alignment of the wall. Yeah. Do you understand my point? I think we need to suggest one or two values and discuss it as a country. NCCE, media, let's talk about Yankanokre. We should have this relativistic thing of always trying to compare. Do you get me? And if somebody is being dishonest or being untrue, we should point them out.
Bernard, you see, we were talking with Clement before we came on air, and he narrated a story of how someone went to Japan, left some money on the floor in a train, and they went searching for it
in a public place,
on a train. So then the position was, oh, don't do that. We'll find it. And then where did you take the train, at what time?
Mention it.
Where were you headed to? Those details were provided. And then they went into the system, keyed in a few details, and then they said, okay, give us some time. Not long after, they were able to track where the money went, and they were able to find it unsealed,
untouched,
and brought back the same way, unopened.
We're told the same thing, that you can't lose your stuff. If you lose anything, where were you? at what time, no problem. They'll find whatever it is. And some people, I was told some people in Japan leave their homes unlocked sometimes.
This is the rural Japan.
No, like urban, they don't steal into. You can't steal. What?
You see, so
the laws are strong. When you are caught by the law,
dishonor to the family. Wow. You know, Bernard. So you see, that speaks to one thing: the honor bit, the truth bit. Yes. But you see, it is ingrained in the person. Here you have a person who's been praying for the past 2 weeks that look, he needs some money to be able to pay his landlord, right? And then he is on a trot roll and somehow sees a bag sitting next to him. That bag, he opens it and there's some good money in there. Money that can pay for, the rent for the next 6 years.
You say God has answered this prayer.
The first thing that occurs to him is that, when I was leaving home, I prayed that God should do something.
So the whole God has done is that he's taking somebody's money and giving it to me.
Exactly. Now the question is, if you are in a society that is truthful to itself, then you say that no, although I have a problem,
and this money is there.
Exactly.
This is not God.
That's not how God works. So let me take you to the police station, so that the police hopefully will return it to its original owner. But you see, we don't have that context here. You have a few isolated cases where people do actually return, lost items. But in
meanwhile, they are big deals.
Let's take a break. We'll be back. When we come back, we have a conversation on the impact agriculture. My guest is Evelyn Brahima of Agri Impact. It's part of our on-air series for Citi Business Festival. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
name is Akrobeto. I like my mind peace. That's why I go get my Bampo insurance from Holland Life. Just yesterday, my Abushapani asked everybody to pay 1,000 Ghana cedis for a penny funeral. But Masa, Ukraine, and Mosobekora. The Bampo helped me cover cost of funeral and any disability cost by paying 2 Ghana cedis per Bushubia. A simple crowd.
Yes, with as little as 2 Ghana cedis, you too can have peace of mind about cost of injury and funeral by simply registering with Mbambo Insurance from Holland Life. Just dial *269# on MTN or Telecel and follow the prompts. It's really that simple. Enjoy peace of mind today, knowing your tomorrow is covered. Mbambo Insurance, made for you.
As the world is changing, you need updated skills to take advantage of all the opportunities out there today. The Ghana Skills Development Fund has already provided training for dozens of businesses over the last 2 years. And now it's your turn. With over 100 million Ghana cedis given up for skills upgrades in the formal, informal, and innovations in green technology sectors, applications are now open for the next batch. Visit www.gsdf.ctvet.gov.gh to submit concept notes between now and 14 June. And be sure to apply in the correct window to avoid disqualification. Call 0302-941-361 for more inquiries or send an email to gsdf@ctvet.gov.gh with inquiry as the subject. The GSDF is funded by the World Bank through the International Development Association IDA with the Commission for Technical and Vocational Education and Training CTVET as the implementing agency under the Ministry of Education.
Fathers have been the cornerstone of our development. Their unconditional love, support, and dedication to our well-being is unmeasured. Their guidance has shaped who we are today, and they ought to be celebrated.
This Father's Day, treat your dad to an exceptional Father's Day celebration at the serene Pajasi Valley Resort. Delight him with our exclusive room promos and exciting spa packages, ensuring he feels truly cherished. Savor a memorable Father's Day lunch buffet at the Baobab Restaurant, crafted to make his stay exceptional. Make your reservation today. Call 0540-125-555 or 0540.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio.
So welcome to another edition of our on-air series for the Citi Business Festival 2024. This week we're focused on agribusiness, and we're very privileged to be talking to somebody from the company that's making impact in the agri and agribusiness space. Agri Impact Group are one of our partners for this week, and I'm happy to introduce Evelyn Reimer, who's the Chief Finance Director for the Agri Impact Group. Evelyn, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bernard.
Welcome, Agri Impact. Yes, on board. You came late, but you're doing a lot. Tell us about Agri Impact Group and Agri Impact Limited.
Okay, thank you. As of us, you rightly mentioned, my name is Evelyn Reimer. I'm the Chief Finance Director for Agri Impact Group. And we are Agri Impact Group because it's a group of companies. Most people always know about Agri Impact Limited, but we have our mother company called ISNAP, which is an NGO. And ISNAP actually gave birth to Agri Impact Limited before then we came to Fresh Logistics. So ISNAP is an NGO, Agri Impact Limited is a private limited liability company, whilst we have Fresh Logistics Limited. So with Fresh Logistics Limited, we are into aggregating of fresh fruits and vegetables for sale. Now, zooming down to Agri Impact Limited. Agri Impact Limited is a limited liability company, and we are into consultancies, and our scope of work involve business plan development for people who want to go into agri and they don't know where to start from. You come to us, we help you develop the business plan. We help you even secure funding if you don't know where to get the funding from. We do feasibility studies of your land. We do value chain assessments. We are into greenhouse supply and installation. And we are into vegetable production ourselves. We can't be in the agribusiness sector and also not be in production ourselves. We produce the vegetables ourselves. And we are also into capacity building and training. We've done projects for international organizations such as the World Bank, INDC, NIDA, USAID, and a lot more, almost like 15 international organizations. And currently, one of the biggest one we are doing for is for the MasterCard Foundation. So,
which is the Happy Project.
Which is the Happy Project that we are currently doing.
I'll come to the Happy Project, but I like the way you are set up. So there's the consulting, but there's the logistics,
yes.
There's the aggregation,
yes.
There's the greenhouse, and there's also the planting. How important is this for you as consultants to be involved in all these parts of the value chain?
It's important. We always believe in business. If you really want to succeed, you have to really tackle the entire value chain. You can't say you are going into production and you don't know where to sell. You can't also say you are going into production, you don't know where to even get your seeds from. You don't know where your land is going to be, how fertile is your land, what type of production are you going to go? Are you going to go into the open food production? Are you going to go into the greenhouse and technology production or anything? So we have to start from the start to finish. So we have the capacity building aspects, and that we know our way around the production, and we also that at the end of the day, even when we finish producing, where do you sell? Because we have a lot of people who have the produce and they don't know where to sell. And even if they know where to sell, they don't know the market dynamics and they are being cheated. They don't know how to buy. At least we have the networks of the people who need the produce they are not getting, and people who are also having the produce and they don't know where to sell. We bring them together. Whilst we are augmenting with our own production, we are also helping farmers who have the produce and don't know where to sell them.
So because, of course, you are involved in the market, so you know the market dynamics.
Exactly.
How was your experience with vegetable production been? Because we discussed vegetable this week, tomatoes. People are saying tomatoes is getting expensive. Indeed, some of the farmers were saying to me, these days their tomatoes are not even fruiting. What are some of the lessons you've learned being a vegetable farming company generally? And is this something you advise people to get into?
Okay, for Agri Impacts, we've tried the open field. When we ventured into greenhouse vegetable production, we actually tried the open field vegetable production. We did it, but we realized in Ghana, one of our biggest problems is nematodes. It's a kind of disease in the soil that affects tomatoes a lot. And when you take tomatoes, for instance, it affects other crops, but majorly tomatoes. And there are a lot of things out there that people would recommend we use for the soil to do the development, but most of them don't really work. So that's what propelled us to go into the greenhouse vegetable production. And with this one, we are not using the soil. It's a medium that you are using that is already prepared. That one, you don't have the issue about nematodes. We are not dependent on the rain, because in Ghana, when the rain stops coming, then we are all in in haywire. We don't know where our vegetable, then we are importing from Burkina Faso and stuff. But with the greenhouse vegetable production, you can regulate how you produce, when you produce, and you make your money. So with the vegetable production, I believe greenhouse is the way, but the greenhouse vegetable production too, it has its own dynamics that one has to be diligent if you want to do it. If you don't have the time, the patience, and the diligence to do it, trust me, please don't venture into it. But you have the time, patience, it is worthwhile, you get your money and you are fulfilled. And you also help in augmenting the food production issues in Ghana.
So it's only tomatoes that do it in greenhouses?
Yeah, no, not only tomatoes. We have the sweet pepper, the bell pepper, which we have the colored, and we have the green, yellow, and the red. Then we have the cucumbers. We also at the point invented this A-frame technology that you can do lettuce without growing them on the soil. There's always sand on it and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's an A-frame. That one you use normal bamboo structures or even PVC pipes that you do the structures that will go up in the A form.
And the lettuce was?
Exactly. You grow the lettuce on it and it's so beautiful. You don't get any dirt on it. You do that one aside that, and you can grow a whole lot of things.
Were you people growing to make money or growing to just learn? Because you are helping farmers, so you just want to...
We are not. We actually have a training institute, which is located at Brekusu. We look right opposite Ashasi University. That we actually provide training for people who wants to go into vegetable, whether open field or greenhouse.
So you can train me to
you come, you want training, we give you the course, you pay, you go there. How long? We have 3 months training, we have 1 month, and we have 6 months.
Is it practical?
Yeah, practical. If you can do residential, we have accommodation, you can do residential, you can go and come every day. We have the greenhouse structures over there, you can do practicals. We have the classroom and you do practicals. After 6 months or how many months you opt for, you get your training and you go and do your production. Then after
Would you help me? So if I came, because I'm interested, if I came and you train for 3 months, and then I get a piece of land in the Volta region, and then I say, Agri Impact, you've trained me, but I need your help. What can you do for me? I have the land. What can you help me do? I have money and land.
You have money and land.
And you've trained me. What can you help me do?
The most important thing is you have money.
Okay.
If you have money and your money, first of all, how much money do you have?
Small.
Your money will determine whether we will give you the option of a greenhouse or an open field. Yes, even if it's a greenhouse or open, even with the open field, we first of all have to do feasibility study of your land to know the topography of your land, the humidity of where it is, and everything. All these things.
And what can grow there?
Exactly.
Okay.
You just don't, because you have a land, you just don't go and grow anything. You have to have the technical expertise. So we have to do feasibility study of the land and advise you what can grow there and what cannot grow there if you are going to do open field. But if you're going to do greenhouse vegetable production, your structures, we are into the supply installation of the greenhouse. You're going to do greenhouses. We import for you, we install for you, we train you and give you technical backstopping for a period of 6 months. And so you are okay. And even at a point, if you're a business person that you are not available to do it yourself, we can train somebody and send the person to you to who will manage the facility.
Because I was going to ask about absentee farming. Some of the farmers are spoken to say that the biggest problem is that people want to farm, but they don't have the right people to manage the farm. So can you guys help me with some farm hands?
Exactly, you are the right place.
The sort of the monitoring of the products, because there's also stealing and all those things. You can help me do all that.
We are the right place. Agri Impact offer all those services.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So those of you listening who have toyed with the idea of farming, whether it's open field or greenhouse, once you're interested, there's training available, and then there's also sort of guiding you through the process of farming. We'll come back to this point. Tell me about the Happy Project. What is that?
Oh, the Happy Project. Happy is an acronym itself. It's not the name, but it's an acronym. But the actual name of it is Harnessing Agricultural Productivity and Prosperity for Youth.
I like this. Harnessing
Agriculture
Productivity and Prosperity for Youth.
Oh, that's Happy. So the Happy Project is being implemented by Agri Impact Limited in partnership with the Mastercard Foundation, and it's being done. It's a program which is planning for 4 years. 4 years, and 4 years, which is targeting around 326,000 youth where we are targeting the youth, women, and the youth and women. And so what's the project is also being implemented. We have 8 implementing partners.
Wow.
And these 8 implementing partners, we believe in the PPP, public-private partnership. Okay. So we have the Ministry of Agric, which is the DCS and APD, that's the Directors of Crop Services and Animal Protection Directorate. We also have NSS, National Service Secretariat. We have GEA on board. Wow. We have Joboman on board. We have Ghana Cares, MIDA on board.
Ghana Cares of Batampa.
Yes, we have MIDA on board. We have New Age Agri Solution on board. And New Age Agri Solution on board. And we have Catholic Relief Services on board, and also TechnoServe Ghana.
This is a big project because you have government partners,
we have
private sector partners, technical donor partners.
Exactly.
So this happy project, what does it aim to do?
As I initially said, it's aimed to create jobs for 326,000 women and youth. And our main focus is to also target 70% of this 326,000 is supposed to be women. And it is actually tailored around 3 interventional goals. And one of the intervention is to increase productivity in our food value chain, and also create employment opportunity and incubation for the youth. And also is supposed to also help the youth to use digital platform to create jobs for themselves. It's not everybody that is willing to do the agric, but there are digital stuff that you can also venture into in this agric platform. So Happy is there to do all this, and we have several footprints that we aim to achieve at the end of the day. And one of them is the E-Happy. We have something called E-Happy. That is the E-Happy is training the youth to use digital platform to provide services in the agric sector. We have people who can use coding to develop an app that will help to do agric marketing. Okay. Yeah, we are training people to do that, and we have people who can use the digital platform to provide agric extension services for farmers. A farmer is someone who doesn't even know what to do, but with the app, you can create an app that you can bring farmers on one board that you can create services for them. And we have another program called Yes Pro. Okay. Yes Pro is a footprint project that we are targeting seed. So people can also go into the seed system. The youth can go into the seed system, because I was talking about the entire value chain, and when we're talking about the entire value chain, we are not forgetting about the seed. And the seed, we are talking about early generation seeds. You can go into the supply and sale of the seeds. We are training people to do that. You can also, those who are interested in the production of foundation seeds too, can also be trained in the production of foundation and set up businesses for themselves. So these are one of the some of the footprint projects that the Happy Project is aiming to achieve. This
is incredible. We're talking here on the honors series of the Citi Business Festival to the finance director of Agri Impact Limited, which is part of the Agri Impact Group, Evelyn Breimer, an amazing company that's involved in the value chain of agriculture. They are into farming, they're into aggregation, they're into logistics, they're into training. And they say if you want to be a farmer, they can help you be a farmer. Basically, there's a number of steps you can go through. She's also telling us about the Happy Project, and this is basically harnessing agriculture, productivity, and prosperity for the youth. I like the Happy Project, and you're talking about the key features, E-Happy being one of the features. Are there specific food or poultry items you target?
Yes. Okay, so the project is targeting 4 value chains. That's, we have the poultry, we have the soya, we have the rice, and we have the tomatoes. These 4 value chains.
Poultry, soya, rice. It's almost like you want to cook jollof. Poultry,
your kitchen will be set.
Soya, rice, and
tomatoes. You have everything.
Jollof rice and chicken.
And chicken.
Why these 4 value chains?
Well, we did, the program was developed by doing some basic analysis of our food system. And these are the major value chains that we realized that we are really lacking, especially the importation of poultry into the country, Every time we are always, someone will say, we are always importing poultry into the country. And our rice too is also dwindling. And the number of times we eat rice, when you go to homes, the rice that we eat as a country is a lot. And you talk about tomatoes too, you see the importation of tomatoes into the country.
Yes.
Now, so these value chains are basically the areas that Ghana imports a lot into the country. Main reason why we are targeting these value chains.
Let me touch on briefly.
Yeah.
Poultry has been a challenge for a number of reasons. We import a lot of frozen chicken.
Yeah.
But these days, the farmers tell us the feed is expensive because sometimes when the maize is not enough, the mix for the feed is a challenge. So, in targeting poultry, what are you going to do? Are you going to get day-old chicks? Are you going to give them feed?
Yeah.
What type of support are you doing under the Happy Project?
Okay, so on the poultry side, on the Happy Project, as I was telling you at the beginning, in doing everything, you have to target the entire value chain or you are bound to fail. You can't go and pick one part of the value chain and just leave it there. It has to be the whole ecosystem for it to be successful and sustainable. So with this project, you say we want you to go into, the main aim is for the youth to own their own businesses at the end of the day. They are not just going to be trained, but we want them to also come out as entrepreneurs who own their own businesses. So with the poultry, when we have starter pack for the youth, and when we say starter pack for the youth, we are talking about providing them with the day-old chicks, providing them with the feed, providing them with the vaccines that they need to be able to start the poultry production. And we have the technical expertise who are there to provide them the training, like APD from MUFA. They are the experts in animal protection and directorates. They are the experts in poultry. So they are there providing the training that they need. And these youth, they are going to be put in each youth who comes under the poultry, will give it a number of starter pack, like if it's 500 or 1,000 day-old chicks, and you are being put in a place, you go through a whole 6 months or whatever period of training, you do it yourself, and whilst you are working, you are also being paid. And the funny part is, the good thing is when you are being paid a little bit above the minimum wage in Ghana. Wow. So you are not just going to go through the training. Whilst you are being trained, you are being paid. Wow. So whilst you are being paid and you are doing the production and you are selling, a profit of that money is being kept aside for you. So when you finish the training, you can go off and start your own business at the end of the day.
This is amazing. Yeah. And this is for poultry, and this is for the whole country. So this is, are you geographically limited, or this
no,
is
the whole country.
From the whole country.
The whole country.
By the way, can poultry do it everywhere? Because I know poultry, I'm told the poultry enclave is in the Bono region or whatever, I don't know. There are a lot of
we are doing some even in Upper West and Upper East.
So the whole country, poultry can do well everywhere. Yeah. So this is both fowls and guinea fowls.
Yeah, we are doing broilers. Broilers for now.
Yeah. What about soya? What do you want to do with soya?
With the soya, with that one, the production also is basically mostly at the northern part, Upper West, Upper East, that we are doing. And the aim is also for them, the youth who wants to go into the production of soya. They are part of people who want to go into the production of soya. They go, we give them the training, all the agronomic practices that they have to go into the soya. They do the soya, we give them a bit of starter pack that they will help with. Those who want to go into the value addition of the soya, to retrain them. Those who want to go to the value addition, one of the aims is to add value to them. So it's not only the production aspect, the value addition is also there. And when it comes to tomatoes to the production, people who want to go into production, we are also targeting to create technologies, the simple technologies that you can use to process the tomatoes. Sometimes you get bumper harvests that there are a lot of tomatoes and they are lower prices. What can we do to these tomatoes that goes rotten? You can process them in a simple way that you can store. We are inventing into creating these small technologies that the youth can acquire. It's not something so sophisticated and expensive, something that they can easily acquire to turn these tomatoes into
the city's biggest conversation.
Are you a builder, contractor, or homeowner with a passion for quality? Look no further. At Yale, we pride ourselves in trusted security and quality hardware for doors. Visit our showroom on 11th Lane Street in Accra, Ghana, and discover the world of Yale door hardware handles and locks. At Yale, we understand your need for security and the desire for elegance. Our products not only protect your loved ones, but also add a touch of sophistication to your home or business. Whether you're renovating your space or crafting a new masterpiece, Yale is your trusted partner with a history of 180 years of innovation. Come on down to Yale today. Experience the perfect blend of security and style with Yale. Yale, where security meets style.
1xBet is offering a mind-blowing hyper bonus. Get ready for a gaming experience like no other. Place an accumulator bet and watch your winning soar with our 1000% bonus. That's right, 1000%. So what are you waiting for? Visit 1xBet.com.gh today. Use promo code HYPERGHANA to get a 300% bonus up to 3,445 Ghana cedi and take advantage of unbeatable hyper bonus from 1xBet. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Fathers have been the cornerstone of our development. Their unconditional love, support, and dedication to our well-being is unmeasured. Their guidance has shaped who we are today, and they ought to be celebrated.
This Father's Day, treat your dad to an exceptional Father's Day celebration at the Citi Breakfast Valley Resort. Delight him with our exclusive room promos and exciting spa packages, ensuring he feels truly cherished. Savor a memorable Father's Day lunch buffet at the Baobab Restaurant, crafted to make his stay exceptional. Make your reservation today. Call 0540-125-555 or 0540-125-554. Breakfast Valley Resort. Live
Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
9:40. I know you're building and you need cement. We have the Diamond 42.5 R grade cement is the highest quality on the market. We've also introduced the 32.5 R grade cement, which means there is a good deal for everyone. That's great value for your pocket. Save this number and call them now. 0244 313 368 0540 111 978 or 0202 021 175. We have factories in Aplau, Takrady, and Bwepe. Deal with us directly. Diamond cement, still as hard as a diamond. And Global Wings Travel and Tours this September is taking you on a journey of a lifetime to Malaysia and Singapore from September the 9th to 18th this year. We're taking you to Kuala Lumpur. We'll take you to Petronas Twin Towers. You saw above the city on the Gentine Highland Skyway cable, right? And we'll go to Singapore. We'll show you the Sentosa Island and a full city tour. You will marvel. It's a luxurious 4-star accommodation. We're taking care of all the costs that are associated with this travel. So don't miss opportunity. Call us or WhatsApp us now. 0553688 or 0550 188 181. Follow us on social media, Global Wings Travel GH. Pack your bags and let Global Wings whisk you away on a journey of a lifetime. Now you need to get quality mattresses to sleep on, that when you wake up you feel refreshed instead of tired, because some of the mattresses, they cut corners, but at Latex Foam we do not do that. So come to any of our showrooms nationwide. Call us now, 0302 231 155 or 0302 008499, or visit us online at www.latexfoam.com. Latex Foam is your partner for life. Let's take you to Eden Heights. It's a well-planned and secured gated community with access to ultra-modern sports complex, swimming pool, Olympic-sized swimming pool, football, and all the other sporting activities. Beautiful rooms, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom apartments, penthouses, highest grade of furnishing for rental and sale. So come by West Hills Mall where we are. Wager, it's just behind that place. Call us on 050-153-1444 or 050-153-1445. Visit us online www.edenheights.com.gh for more details. Eden Heights, the height of modern living. And listen, Father's Day is around the corner. We want to celebrate that in style. Africa World Airlines wants to help you do that for your dad in an extra way. We want to fly you through the skies. It is doable. It's very simple. Send us an email to celebrations@flyafricaworld.com, and with your booking details, your message, and your selected package. Book your tickets now and let's celebrate fathers in style. As a top-up, 3 complimentary tickets will be awarded to fathers who fly with us on Father's Day in a lucky dip. So call us on 0800 200 200 or 0242 438888 for further information.
So it's 10 minutes to 10 on the Citi Breakfast Show, and we have in studio the friends from Labadi Beach Hotel and Radiance Fair, Radiance Wedding Fair. So Purple 12 Events is really the name of the company. They have a very important event happening, and I have in studio Abokuma Ellis, who's the project director for Radiance Fair. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show. I also have Ekua Zaragati Chagli, head of marketing, Labadi Beach Hotel. Ekua, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
So tell me about Radiance Wedding Fair.
Okay, so the Radiance Wedding Fair is Ghana's premium bridal fair happening at the Labadi Beach Hotel this weekend.
Okay.
It's a wedding fair which has over 30 exhibitors who are coming to show their wares. They're coming to show what they're about in terms of creating weddings. So people can come, and brides and grooms who are planning their weddings can come and just meet them all under one roof, experience the entire luxury experience of a wedding. We have, as part of the event, we have the opening ceremony, which is also the Bliss Wedding Fair, which is a mock wedding, which is a real wedding ceremony. We have a real bride, a real groom, and all the vendors in that space, for example, they're just showing what they can do for you if you book them for their event. So that's how they are showcasing their services. So the fair is pretty much just showcasing a lot of not only the people in the vendors in booths showcasing their wear, but every aspect of any event that you will see at the Labadi Fair this weekend is a vendor showcasing what they can do. So if you see lighting, the vendor is showcasing their lighting. If you smell, you go in the booth and then you smell something really nice, they're showcasing their scents. You have gowns, you taste cakes. There's so many options available.
So all things that have to do with weddings.
Yes,
from
everything.
the clothes they wear to the food they eat and all of those things.
Yes, so Labadi Beach obviously has the culinary experience, the best culinary experience, so you can get food from the hotel to eat.
So Labadi Beach is actually a wedding venue as well.
Yes.
Okay, I'll come to that in a second. But beyond the exhibition, there's also workshops and panel discussion.
Yes. We do have 4 workshops happening on the 2 days, 2 on each day.
Okay.
And the workshops are going to be they're going to be teaching couples and people planning their events and weddings about how to plan your wedding, how to plan the events, how to work on timelines, budgeting, right? We're going on, another workshop is talking about gifting, how to wrap the gifts. You know, usually during the traditional marriage ceremony, there's the gifts that you give the family and the guests. So we're going to talk about the significance of that and even go home with a gift.
Wow.
As part of the workshop. We have another workshop that talks about wedding etiquette. So what you should be doing on the day, expectations of the bride and the groom, the family, the wedding guests on the day. And then we have a final workshop which will be talking about the event design and just the whole design outlook of the entire events.
And this is a registered event. So, as in, you attend by registering?
Yes. So the entire fair is free to attend, but you have to register at radiancebride.com.
Is it?
Yes. The only difference is the workshops. The 4 workshops are paid. Those ones are 300 cedis per workshop, but you can still register at radiancebride.com. But
So
the entire fair is free.
So you just
to
can walk
attend.
around the fair is free.
Yes.
But to sit in the seminar or the workshop, you need to register in these 4 thematic areas.
Yes.
So you go online.
Yes.
Is there a
You
number
go
to
online.
call?
There is a number to call.
We'll find that shortly. But what's Labadi Beach Hotel doing in all of this?
Well, Labadi Beach is the host.
Okay.
We are hosting the whole event.
All right.
It's a collaboration between the wedding fair and then Labadi. We are host. We're giving all the rooms out.
Mhm.
We are displaying our hotel. You know, Labadi is a premier 5-star hotel. Which is the best location for all these things. It's I always say it's a tropical paradise. We have the ocean space that people have weddings there. We have the gardens. We have the glass marquee, which take up to 600 people.
Wow.
It takes you up to that amount of people. We have the spa.
Mm.
People do little events there. We have the grounds in general. You know, the Labadi Beach is over 14 acres.
Is that big?
And yes, and I mean, we are neighbors with the famous Atlantic Ocean. And then we have the Omania Hall, and then we have little restaurants and little spaces, Labadi Suite, the Primavera. So you are spoilt for choice.
So you're coming for a fair, but also you're coming to your potential wedding venue.
Absolutely. So it's an opportunity to see all we have on show.
So
on display.
it means you have different wedding packages. So I'm sure there can be large and also more smaller, cute.
Yes, you can have
intimate weddings.
Labadi caters for everyone. You can have a private event for 5-10 people.
Okay.
And you could have up to 1,500, 2,000.
1,500 people.
Absolutely. We can accommodate that. And you know, our staff are experienced. They have been around in the industry. They are professional. We are very warm, welcoming, very accommodating, professional, and flexible. So even though everybody knows it's a 5-star hotel, we can fine-tune packages to your taste, and we can.
How much time do you need to give yourself to plan ahead to register for a wedding at Labadi? So we are in June, right?
Yes.
If somebody wants to get married, say in July, is it too late?
Yes. It's not too late. It's just that the bigger rooms tend to have gone, like Labadi Suite and the Omania Hall have been booked right up to 2026.
My
Actually,
God.
most Saturdays have gone already, and there are other spaces. So you can have a wedding within 2 weeks if there's availability, even 1 week. You know, the body staff, I must say, over the years are so professional, and we've been in the industry for a long time.
They will find a place for you.
We'll find a place for you, and you'll be happy.
Abukuma, tell me who can attend this fair and the workshop. Is it for somebody who wants to get married, or is it for somebody who wants to get into events planning, you know, or somebody who supplies stuff for people who do weddings?
So the workshops are specifically designed for those getting married. So brides and grooms, people who are helping those who are getting married to plan their wedding. So sometimes your friends, your bridal party, your family. So anyone who is really helping the couple or the couple themselves who are planning the wedding can come to the workshops. It would really help them.
Can you give me a number to reach you on if somebody wants to register to attend these fairs?
Yes,
or to
you can
exhibit at these fairs.
Well, to exhibit, we have actually run out of space.
Oh, no.
All the booths are gone.
Oh, no.
Yes, but then to register for the fair or for any of the workshops, you can call Ivy on 050-845-0421.
050
050-845-0421.
All right, and that number is the number you can register on.
Yes.
Or you can go online to
radiancebride.com.
Do you guys walk people around? Do you do tours for prospective couples?
Of course. As soon as they come to the hotel and they come and meet us, we take them around all the possible venues. Sometimes they change their mind. You know, Labadi is very in tune with nature because we have this lagoon, Mele Lagoon.
Yes.
We even have a lagoon bar on which people can use for little weddings. Those who want the rustic feel, the natural feel.
Coconut trees everywhere.
Absolutely. So as soon as you get through the gates and you come in and you reach out to us, we'll take you
and
around.
And you redesign your entrance. It looks nicer now.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And as part of what Auntie Ikuya said, on Sunday at noon, we actually do have a Labadi tour as part of the events that are happening.
So when is this event, by the way?
So it's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 15th and 16th of June at Labadi Beach Hotel. Each day is from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m.
Amazing.
So on Sunday at there's at 12:30, there's going to be a tour around the hotel. Our guest relations officer Linda Phoebe and Maya will be showing everybody around. So anybody who wants to come and have a look, you can come and look anytime.
So when they come, who should they ask for? They should ask for you?
When they come,
not for the affair, they just want to book a wedding.
Most certainly, they can
ask for Equia.
For me or the banqueting office, anyone.
Banqueting office.
Everybody is here. Anybody. So we can give some number or some numbers.
Please do.
Yes. All right. So the Labadi Beach number is 0302 77250126.
All right.
Or the guest relations number, which is 20. All these numbers are 24 hours. 054 010 995.
Wonderful.
Yes, that's guest relations, Linda. So we are on call. We are waiting. Labadi, everybody is everybody works together. So you could even get to the gatehouse, and security will help you and take you. So it's
they are so welcoming.
Yes. Yeah.
So this weekend, all roads lead to Labadi Beach Hotel. Radiance Weddings having a beautiful fair for those of you who want to tie the knot or who want to explore the wedding economy. This is your chance. Labadi Beach Hotel, the venue for great events. We've been talking to Abokuma Ellis, Project Director for Radiance Fairs, and Yukia Zaragati, Chagli, Head of Marketing, Labadi Beach Hotel. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Before we run out of here, if you're interested in Canadian immigration and learning how to avoid fraud, do you know how to detect and avoid fraudulent solicitations for your journey to Canada? The Black African RCIC group, in collaboration with Askia Immigration Consult, have answers for you. Join the conversation through a free live webinar. We'll dive deep into the realms of immigration fraud, exploring the various forms, common tactics used by unauthorized practitioners, ghost consultants, and the impact it can have on individuals. It's on 22nd June at 8 p.m. GMT, live on Facebook at B8-RCIC. So join us for this one. And of course, Omni Basic Bank is always at your service for assistance with their 24-hour state-of-the-art contact center, the fastest growing bank